Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome back to this week's GKP Live. Evening, Matt. Evening, Anthony. Hope you're good, mate. Hope you're good, Matt.
Good, thank you.
Now then, have you sent the link?
Got school tomorrow.
Who? You.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Just checking. Rick says he's running a little bit late, so no pressure, Rick. See you when you get here, bud. Excuse me.
He's having his haircut, guys.
Is it really? Is he going for a quick trim? Hopefully, we should be having, I believe it's Ronnie, but Ron, as in his name on TikTok, that is joining us hopefully this evening. We've got a couple of topics and questions to have a natter and a chat about, but we have got one thing first of all, which I would like to address with everybody. And I'm hoping, just in case, because I have had one gentleman get in touch, but just in case, I am trying to see if I can help out a fellow YouTuber, and the vast majority will know exactly who she is. Some may not, and some obviously will. But Carol Lawsey has been in touch, and she has asked me to see if I can help her in the assistance with rehoming of 9 of her koi. Due to health reasons, she is shutting down her pond and closing up, and looking for somebody that can try help her out to get some new fish. So, or to get her fish and give them a good home. So if there's anybody out there that is interested, do us a huge favor, guys. Contact me, send me an email, drop me a message on Facebook, Instagram Messenger, whatever you've got that you've got me on, or you can get hold of me on, or you can email me at gazzaskoipond1@virginmedia.com. Let's see if we can get Carol's fish into a good home and a little bit of pressure taken off. That's the first one. That's out of the way. Hopefully people will see that right from the word go at the beginning. Now, there has been one gentleman that's been in touch. I don't know if he's reached out to Carol. They have swapped details back and forth, but I don't know if he'll be taking them all or if he's be taking any. But he has offered, as have I, if Carol needs any assistance to go over there and shut down a system, draining down a pond. She was suffering last year with a serious health issue, and she's ongoing further visits and further things and developments with her health again. And hopefully, fingers crossed, she can get a fish sorted out and take that pressure off a little bit. So for all those that want to send her a message and wish her all the very best, please do so. I'm sure she would love people to get in touch and give her some good positive vibes, because right now I think she's really going to need it. It's not nice to lose your hobby, especially when it's not something you really want to do. That's the coffee out of the way. All right then, what you guys been up to?
Go on, Crafty.
After you, mate. Age before beauty, mate.
Polytunnel. Yeah, it's coming on. I've done two of the drums today. One left to finish off tomorrow, and then we'll be close to switch on, which would be ideal.
The big switch on then. So they're all plumbed in, dry fitted, or have you got everything done? Yeah,
done. So they're literally ready to go.
Filled up as well.
3/4 filled up. So I've got water going through the system, but it's not actually switched on. So I know everything is watertight, no leaks.
Sweet.
Ready for the final fill up, and I've got to work out what I'm going to do for the jump guards going around the side of it. But
how long did that take to fill? Well, because it's free.
So I turned it on this morning 7:30 and turned it off tonight 5:00. So not that bad.
You've got a bore well, haven't you?
Yeah, so I would is good to go straight away. No issues.
Just catching up with the evenings and the good evenings all and everything else that everybody else has popped in there. Gary's banged one in. Good evening, Gary. Hey, we're watching your video over there, mate. That little tank that you're making, that looks pretty neat. That fingers crossed. That's going to be a tidy little grown for you, mate.
Yeah,
banging little project.
Oh yeah, and I sent you the video, guys, on Monday, looking at the beaver damage.
Yeah, that blew me away. That, mate. When you said, I thought, it's taking pisses. Well, no, I didn't think we had beavers in the UK.
Yeah.
The fairy type, Matt. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I mean, that could be taken. The ones that swim in rivers and lakes and make dams.
They are being released in different places, but these weren't released. These they were originally released somewhere further upstream. And they appeared 3-4 months ago. And like I said, they've taken out 50 big trees that are over 20 years old, up to 100 yards away from the riverbank. And it's just insane what they're going to do.
That was a big ass tree, though, mate. That weren't no little. You know, I thought they might take smaller little trees. I didn't think they'd take something like that. That was, you know, what 30-year-old tree at least.
Well, yeah, he remembers them 20 years ago, so they could be older, but it's nuts.
Surprising. I never thought. So they're reintroducing them back into the British waterways to help. You said to help with, you know, floods and stuff like that and damming up the rivers and everything. Yet, since they've taken all those trees out, 10 meters of the banking has
eroded. Yeah, it's eroded over the last 3
Oh,
months.
thank you very much, Sarah.
10 meters,
Chat.
meters,
Sorry.
10 meters of the bank is totally gone. And the only thing that you can put it down to is the fact that the roots have now died because the trees have obviously been chopped down and there's no stability in the banks. Can you play that video, Gaz? Everybody see it?
That video that you sent me, I think it wouldn't play. I'll try it again now. It might come. It might work now. It's come through again. Well, we have a new guest, and everybody, please welcome Ron to the evening's show.
Hi.
Good evening, Ron. You're all right?
I'm good. How are you?
Very well. Thank you.
Hello. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, perfect.
Good.
Right. Welcome to what is the GKP Thursday Night Live madness. Don't panic. There'll be
Thank you.
no tricky questions or anything like that. All we're going to do is let you introduce yourself, but we'll wait till we get everybody else and just have a quick natter about the other bits and bats that we've been looking at. But we're basically going to get you then to have a natter and a chat with us about what you've been doing and your project as you've been doing it, because you've been documenting it all on TikTok, haven't you?
I have.
And I've got your little video as well, which we can share. But we'll hang fire for Rick to get on, and then we can go through it all together. I've got one question for you before we go any further. Have you worked in construction?
Mate, no.
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 That surprised me.
As your dad.
Your dad has. So your dad's showing you a lot of it. Did your dad have a lot to do with the build then, or did you?
No, so he helps with the window and in the fish in the pond.
And everything else, then you soloed it all the way through. That's quite, and that's this one that we will be looking at. That's your third pond that you've had.
My third one.
Third one. What was your first one like then? Because I saw the second one. The second one's on your TikTok channel.
Yeah, I never shared the first. It was just a small sleeper pond. I built it for my goldfish and I never put them in. So that's how I got the koi.
Let me just bring up your volume just a twit. There we go. Let's try that. There we go. So your first one was for goldfish, and then you progressed from goldfish to your second pond, which was again a timber frame built pond as well, wasn't it? Oh, I lost your sound. No, not now. Let me one sec. Let me try that again. Try that. Try again. Oh, nothing.
No.
God damn it. There we go. Put it back onto automatic and it should be work. It should work
Now?
There we go.
Yeah.
I'll talk loud. Yeah, so the second one was a swimming pool with a shed around it. And then the third one is what you guys can see.
Which we'll share as we progress through this evening. And just want to say a massive thanks, Sarah, to the for the super chat there, £20 towards the Japan trip, which is coming up next Friday. Super excited. I'll let you know what it's like, Matt, when we get there. I'll let you know whether you need to bring any wellies or waders for super deep snow, or whether or not it's not too bad.
I don't think they've got any snow at the moment.
Yeah, they have, yeah.
They have.
Yeah,
I've been watching the daily forecast. Yeah. Not just
Any idea how much?
watching it, I've just browse now and then.
Any idea how much? Depth.
I don't know about that. Seeing how cold it is, because last year when I went, it was warm.
What was the temperatures?
Last year was super warm, and the snow was melted by the time I got there.
Really?
Yeah, it was a bit unusual.
Oh, so I wonder if that's anything to do with an indication to how good a summer that they had this year. Then, with the winter clearing up sooner in 23 to 24.
When did you go out though, Crafty, last year? Because when Ryan was over there on the first week of February, there was snow everywhere.
Yeah, I went over. When did I go over, Cal? Over Valentine's Day. That was always a good get out. So, yeah. Was it over Valentine's? Just after Valentine. Yeah. So, yeah, it was really warm, man.
Oh, nice one, Gary. We're just talking about Gary's making himself a new little grow on, and he's doing a timber framed little section pond, but fiberglass internally and externally. And it looked pretty smart over there. That I caught his video and had a quick look at it. We've got Fenland Lass says hi, Ron there. Jig says beavers are territorial. They will attack humans, nasty bastards.
When you going over? That's next Friday.
Yeah, Friday morning we fly at 8:30. I think.
So it's looking like next week. It's looking like 11 degrees and 1 degree day and night. So
so that's typical Yorkshire weather then.
Yeah.
No,
Oh yeah.
actually,
You'll be well at home, mate. You can take.
Yeah, I'll be as snug as a bug in a rug over there, won't I?
Yeah, you can.
As soon as we've been having -12 over here, so it should be good.
Where are you going?
Japan. We're going to Tokyo on the 24th and 25th to the All Japan Koi Show, and then from the All Japan Koi Show to Nagata, going around all the Dainichi and all sorts of places like that, going around all the big koi farms, and getting to look at all the selecting of the tosai and stuff. So yeah, buzzing, can't wait, super excited. Can you tell?
Have you done it before or not?
No, never been. No, never done anything. I mean, I've been around koi farms in the UK, and I've been to Poland, and we had a 4. I can't remember. It was a 4 or a 5 day. Jeff, was it a 4 or a 5 day we did there in Poland, which is Yoshiki Goi, and we went round there and we stopped there for a 4 or 5 day event. Got to look through all the pond stocks, harvest some mud ponds, and then basically just have a pick and a choose, and documented it all while we were over there. And then this time, I've never done out like this, no. So this is going to be, this is going to be next level. The All Japan show is going to be absolutely fantastic. There is, and I did state this last week, there is over 1,000 vats. There is over 1,000 vats to be looking at, and there are over 2,000 fish entering. Loads. So that's a lot of koi to be looking at, and that's a lot of fish to try find all of Ryan's, which I don't think we'll be able to do out of 2,000 fish. It'd be hard as hell. Ryan will know them, obviously, but it's going to take some getting around. I certainly won't, like I said last week, I certainly won't be going around and recording every single vat saying, this is a fish from so-and-so, so-and-so, thank you very much, all the very best, and the rest of it, because, there ain't going to be enough time to do that kind of thing on that amount of fish. 2,000 of them to go around. Yeah. Come on, Susan, what you at you now? Gaz is hoping for a freebie run. He's been known to get lots of freebies. Give over, man. I don't get anything for free. It's all been lots of hard work and dedication. They keep giving me earache. Well, Susan does, because we was talking about how sometimes companies contact different people and give them a promotional deal or something like that kind of thing. And I have only ever been approached by one company. And I said, I don't ever get anything in that sense. And then Rick from You for his Koi pointed out the fact that you had a few free koi. And then I went through them and thought, God damn. yeah, I've had a lot.
You had 3 off me.
3 off of you. 4 off you.
Well, 4 off me then.
Yeah, 4 off of you.
No, you worked for one of them though. Proper work.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it was fun anyway, mate. It don't class. It's not classed as work if it's fun, is it? I don't know. Maybe a good 4 or 5 off of Rick, 1 off of Matt.
Mate, he's so tight, isn't he? Mate, so tight. Just 1.
I'm not tight because what I've done is I've paid it forward, mate. I've paid it forward. 1. No, I'm not tight.
No, not you. Get off your lip.
Sorry.
3 off me, 5 off Rick. How many off Matt?
1.
Oh yeah, 1.
That one was
little shit when you didn't want anymore. I know. I know you were.
You got some catching up to do, Matt. Sorry, bud. At least 3.
You haven't got any room.
No, actually, there's Stu who's doing. Now then, what's his name of his channel? Crap, he's going to kick my ass. Bear with me 1 second. Let me just double check and find it. I want to make sure I get it right.
I just got a bollocking off of Ryan.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
He said I've got to be a little bit more happier.
You said that to me last week.
Yeah, well, to be fair, mate, that's fair.
Vince, if you're watching, mate, what's Stu's channel called? I've forgotten what it's called, and I'm sure I'm subscribed to it, but I don't want to say it wrong one. Well, most of you'll know because Daz were around there the other day, and he was doing an installation of a filter system that he's gifted him, and also a backy shower that he's put on his pond. After he's put on his pond, me and Daz and Vicky, we were gifted some fish from a client of Crafty's, a gentleman called Peter, and he gifted some fish. I think the one that he gave me was at least a 55 plus cm Yorkie's koi. Nice one. Thank you very much, Vince. And it was Surrey koi. No, definitely
Well,
not Surrey koi, mate. I'd rather poke myself in the eye with a fucking sharp stick. Sorry, did I say that out loud? He had a problem with a bacterial infection in his pond and lost all his fish and then shut it down. And he's now rebuilding a new pond. So we thought, what better way and a nicer way to be able to give someone a fresh start? So we gifted him the fish that we've been gifted, obviously asking the gentleman first to make sure. Oh my God. Good evening, Rick. Is that your unicorn? Your unicorn?
Ron must think, what the fuck have I joined?
Yeah. Sorry, Ron. I did tell you it was madness. I did tell you, didn't I?
Well, look.
You're
didn't have the accent like you
You're a
boys.
man.
Zoe's turned up as well, just to make it right weird.
Good evening, Zoe. Are you well?
Good evening. I'm very well, thank you.
Happy New Year, love. Did you have a good
visual outfit?
Yeah, it was good. It was good. Ezra's gutted.
Hey, upstairs.
Pink unicorn.
Where's your pink uniform?
Ezra, you're being spoken to. Listen.
Where's your pink onesie suit?
I don't have one.
Oh,
He won't wear one.
he would. I'm sure he would.
He won't.
Anyway, as I was saying, so we decided that we would gift those 3 big fish, which are all 50 to 60 cm, to give him a new start. And hopefully, I hope I haven't just let cat out of the bag, but Daz is going to contact him and get in touch with him. Plus, Vicky was also gifted some other fish from Chris, which is Budget Pond Keeper. He was giving Vicky some fish to use for broodstock. So Vicky's decided that she's got lots of torsai growing on, plenty of fish. She doesn't need the big fish right now. She's got some other stock that's growing on as well, which have come on really well. So she's gifted some of them. So he's got at least 8 or 9 for a start off for his collection again. So hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll be happy with them and accept them and enjoy getting himself back into the hobby. So paying it forward, guys, paying it forward. When it's gifted to you, you gift to others, as well as all the fish that I'm going to kind of
what you do at Christmas.
Kind of palm off and give to my dad because I don't want them anymore. That's still sharing is caring, isn't it? The way I see it.
Spread the love.
Always, mate.
Yeah.
Always.
Right then, let's get into it a little bit. Ron, Rick,
I Ron,
Anthony,
sorry.
and Matt are the gentlemen. That's Rick's from New Forest Koi. He is a British koi farm breeder. Anthony is the manager of Perfect Aquatics, and Matt Howie, which you already know. Yeah.
I didn't recognise him, man. He's got no hair left.
I know they got a
What's he
proper one
done?
down on him, didn't they?
This will last me for the next 2 months.
That's risky at your age, Matt, because you never know if it's going to come back or not.
Mate, that's you stuck now.
At least I got some on top of my head.
Yeah, well, you ain't been to war, mate.
Is that what they officially class as a desert head then?
This, mate, is like a forehead muff.
I got a
Eventually,
giggle in the background. Sorry, mate.
eventually, that will just turn into an island of hair.
Yeah,
It's nearly
the
there.
island of hopes and dreams.
Slowly receding.
The thing is, though, when you go bald, the worst thing is knowing when to stop washing your face, because what point do you go from
I'll use a L'Oreal
soap to
beard, hair, and face wash all in one.
all in one?
Yeah, it's easy. Isn't it?
Right then, let's get into it a little bit. What do you want to do? Do you want to kick off with your project, Ron, or do you want to have a little bit of an input on some of the questions and some of the topics that have been brought up this evening?
Oh, I don't mind.
You don't
I'll
mind?
tell you what, I've looked on some of Ron's videos when I knew she was joining. I've looked back, and may I say that your knowledge is actually very good.
Thank you.
That's not too patronising, is it,
No, I'm not being
Crafty?
patronising at all. I'm not, because there's a lot of people out there that do this sort of thing. When I don't have I ain't got a fucking clue what they're on about, a lot of them, have they? But Ron,
That's me,
No.
mainly.
well, yeah, you especially, and Howie, I don't know why he's even here.
God, you just continuous digs. You're getting it, Matt. You're getting it tonight, mate.
I
For
will
sure.
give you back.
No, no
I'm
doubt.
not going to buy all the fish in Japan, so you ain't got any left.
New Forest Coit has asked us a question for one of the topics. In fact, I think it's one of two, actually, because there's another one as well. How much is too much when it comes to running the cost for a pond? What are people's average yearly cost stroke spend on their ponds?
Good place.
How
to
much is
start,
too
yeah.
much? See, that's a question that we can ask to the audience as well.
It's not a question we can answer, is it? It just falls in your budget, doesn't it?
And if
No,
you
you
don't
know
follow
what
your
you can
budget, you
afford to
start
pay.
cut
It's
back.
not- Mate, it's like a better question will be, how do you cut the costs of running a pond?
I've
Not
put
how
out
much-
there for the audience,
much-
Crafty, isn't it? It's what are people's perceptions of too much? Obviously, if you're spending 20 grand a year on your fish, spending 10 grand a year running your ponds is in the right budget, isn't it?
It's all relative.
Oh, I've got that on underneath, mate. You wait till later when I've had a couple of beers. I'm on the beer
I thought
again.
you was on
Sorry.
dry January.
Yeah, it's the 15th.
The Koi Pit says, I think it's healthy just to burn all the receipts at the end of the year. That's
Or
probably,
just don't look at them.
don't look. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't think running costs over a pond are as well. With the hike in electricity, obviously going to be a lot more expensive, but a lot more stuff now is a lot cheaper to run than what it was, let's say, older equipment 10, 15 years ago, isn't it? Low voltage, low wattage.
Well,
In comparison.
all the technology to the main sort of pond players is all based on reducing energy consumption, lower power, higher output. That's what they look at. But that comes with a price tag, to be perfectly honest. I think what people need to do is, if they think they're overspending, is do they need a backy shower? Because a lot of people have got a backy shower just for the sake of having one without really knowing if it's a requirement. Example, then you're cutting your cost straight away by cutting one pump out of your setup, for example. The other is, have you got the right size pump on your pond? Can you change your pump in order to lower the consumption and still have the same performance? Things like that. Sometimes you've got to invest to save. That's the
You could have let's say, for example, a bigger pump than what you require, reducing it in its flow rate, which will be saving in the long run and prolonging the life of the pump as well.
Yeah, I mean, Oase are the industry leading in that sort of thing, unless you're going to spend on a flow friend or something like that, where you put in a couple of grand down on a pump, for example. But yeah, Oase, their new technology, quad core, something or other that they do, really, really cheap to run, but really expensive to buy. That's the problem.
But that's the thing that you can buy. Do people need to move as much water as they do year round? Do people need as much UV as they use year round? Do people need to run air they use year round? There's so many And it does lead on to that. I'm doing it using the natural heat. We got siting your pond in the right place, covering your pond in the right way, using materials to gain heat. There's so much stuff you can do without costing anything. It's all free.
Like
If you get it
reflective solar panels.
mate, I've
Oh,
got
that's a good plug and a good link.
Mate, I've got one. I was. There's another question I put in because I was messing about with all that, and then I thought, well, the water is so clear and shiny, it's reflecting back off the water, and I think, well, that's weird because you imagine water's always going to absorb thermal radiation the same. So I researched putting black dye in the water to make the water absorb heat better. It's a thing. It's a thing you can do to actually change the colour of water to absorb the heat better. So if you're trying to keep your pond warm, not only does the cover help and the reflector help, the colour of your water helps. There's so many little things you can do.
So natural green water then would be better than crystal clear water.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing, isn't it? We always colour our water and it absorbs heat better, but actually you can buy black dye products.
Yeah, like you can get the blue water dye, yeah, to make actually dye the colour.
And then I got to the point where it's actually, I'm running the pond dead flat, like a mirror. But actually, if I agitate the surface, it's going to absorb the thermal radiation even better. I was down a rabbit hole at this point.
It's hard to take Rick seriously when he's wearing that pink outfit.
Yeah, it is. It is a level, but it's all relative.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, all right. That's how it is. But the fact is, if you agitate the surface of your water using a polytunnel, using a reflector, using a dye, you could have 5 degree warmer water, 10 degree warmer water.
Yeah.
No cost. It's literally, it's bonkers.
Unless it's foggy.
Yeah, then you're kind of screwed, aren't you? Then that takes the whole element. I've got to get this one in before I do forget because Gaz, wife's in tonight. I think I will dodge that one, which is him telling us the costs or expenses of running his pond. Yeah, I'd agree with that one. But seeing as though you are part of the Oxo family, I would imagine it's only just chump change out of your pocket, Mark.
It's relative, isn't it? It's just the interest coming out the bank account.
That's it, yeah. You don't even notice it.
When you own Oxo, you don't even notice it out of his
bank. How can somebody that's the director of Oxo even know all about it? I bet you don't even know what it costs to run your pond anyway, Mike. So it's all good. I mean, you were getting an helicopter to come and meet us of a week, like, so that's 10 grand just to fuel one of them things, isn't it?
Right, I've got a question. I've got a question for Ron.
Yeah.
So how long have you been doing YouTube? TikTok on my YouTube, and that's why I said that.
2 years.
Right. So
2.
I've looked back over your videos from keeping your fancies into your koi pond, and you've just recently started sharing the new build that you're doing.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that you've inspired that are female, and I ask that purposely, into that hobby, into a sort of koi hobby? Do you know?
Not really. I got more so in the summer when I share just the koi themselves. I get a lot of women commenting that they would love to have koi, but they don't know where to start.
You don't know where it goes from there.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's why I thought it'd be. I mean, there isn't that many, not that we know of within the. I mean, there are some. Obviously, I'm not saying there isn't any. There are a few, but there doesn't seem to be as many females into keeping koi as what there are to the ratio of males. No. It's a lot more scaled, isn't it? If you look at your subscribers on YouTube, I think something like 85% of my subscribers are male, and the rest females, which is not a great deal of hobbyists.
85% of mine are female.
Yeah, it's to do with the package. It's
that
definitely
must just be your devilish, handsome, good looks that are coming for them. Must be, mate.
At least we're on the right page. No, it's true. You know, we often have a chat about bringing youngsters in, and I see that you dump your little one in the pond in a ring and stuff because it's good to see.
Yeah,
they
like it.
I think that's great because it adds another dimension to
Yeah.
what it's like to have a pond. And if it's big, cheers, Sue. I don't say Sue in case I get in trouble. But yeah, it adds another element of the fun part of having a pond in the garden.
Yeah.
Especially if it's deep enough to be able to, people pay a fortune for swimming pools. Make a koi pond and let the kids have a dip.
Go in with them.
Yeah, and that.
It's probably the capabilities without. Not many females can do what Ron is capable of doing, and when you see it on the video in a minute, where
you went there. I should have prepared myself for one of those captions to come up. Like, I can't believe you just said that.
as soon as I open my mouth,
tell him to fuck off as well.
You went there with the for all the comments that need to be directed. Please direct them to Howie Coy at howicoy.com.
all the complaints.
but without sounding chauvinistic, if a bloke wants to build a pond, in most cases it possibly can. The ladies' side, and I say ladies, they possibly can't.
Keep digging, Matt.
It's just getting worse, man. I mean, most ladies could employ someone to build them a pond, as do many men. So you could. I mean, if building it, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I saw Vicky come and help do my mate, and she outgrafted most blokes that I would work alongside. She barrowed out from my garden, wheelbarrow after wheelbarrow, probably 300 or 400 barrels of soil, and never even flinched at it like it were nothing. Just worked like a trooper. But she does that kind of thing all day long when she's sorting out horses and what have you. So she's not shy of hard work. But in the sense of keeping koi, there are very few that I know of. I mean,
yeah, but they got to start somewhere.
I only know maybe a handful.
No, if they can't build the pond or don't have somebody a partner, husband, or whatever that is willing to build the pond, then they're up against it.
Your best customer there. You are so in the shit, mate.
Do you know what? When I started speaking about this, I could hear Kelly in the background going, have you for that one?"
I mean, deservedly so. You introduced Ron to come and join us, and you'd already seen what she's done and what she's built.
Yeah, it is marvelous. Ron, you actually worked it out as well. How much it cost you to build a whole pond, didn't you?
Yeah.
Oh, nice swerve there.
All in all, free. $3,000 all in all, yeah.
That's really good.
And
you could have had a little saving in there, Ron, as well, couldn't you? If you didn't have a little bit of an issue with your liner.
Yes.
Blame Matt for that.
I was going to say, where did you buy your liner from, Ron?
Not me.
Fuck off, mate. There's no way. I thought that was going to be you. Then I was sticking you up like a good one.
No, definitely not. It was weird.
I've got one from Swell, and then there's the Swallows. I don't know if you know what that is. I got a second one from there.
The Swell UK for your first one. Was that the woven type?
Yeah, that didn't stick.
Yeah, there's been one or two YouTubers that have done a couple of videos on it, and they've tried every form of gold label and all the rest of it.
After,
and nothing at all will adhere to that stuff at all. It's perfectly all right. It lasts quite a long time, but not when you're trying to seal in either any connections or any forms of windows and such. It's not the best. Straight drop in the old kind of thing. Work perfectly well, lasts quite a long time, but yeah, they have the places, I think, unfortunately. Cheap.
To be fair, we get quite a lot of women into like keeping fish. We get loads through the shop.
Yeah, we do.
To be fair, they control the purse strings a lot more than the blokes.
Yeah,
that's why I don't like them. No,
also, it's you and Vince that they're coming in to see, isn't it?
Me and Vince, we're a handsome pair. I'll tell you what. Imagine you in the old days with people at toilet seats around there and start gurning.
Gurning.
That's me and Vince.
Gurning, funny enough.
Is it called gurning?
Yeah, it is called gurning. Yeah, they do like competitions for it, don't they?
Yeah.
How do
Well,
you
anyway.
know that?
How? Back in the day when YouTube used to be what YouTube was, when you could click on a short, well, not a short, but click on a video and then go on to another video and it take you down a rabbit hole of all sorts of randomness. But now you click on one thing and all it does is just fill your time, your home feed with the same repetitive crap.
Was it a toilet seat they put around the head?
Yeah, it was like a toilet seat. No, it's not a toilet seat. I tell you what it is. It's one of those harness things that goes around Shire horses pulling thing. It's one of those harnesses they put around a horse's neck when they're pulling a ploughing and all that kind of stuff.
I think they should bring back gurning.
What did I have to? I missed some at the beginning. Made you get onto that.
I don't know.
Bubble and Finn says, Ron, I know Swallow Aquatics. Ron, you must live close to where I used to. Which don't give you much of a hint as to where that is, but down south.
Oh, no, Swallow have got more than one.
I think
They've got more than one.
Oh, are they all over? Are they?
Yeah.
They're up in Colchester. That's down in where Ron's from, I'm assuming. You're not Colchester, I'm assuming.
No.
No.
I am.
Sorry. It's right, Crafty.
Don't say
I
what
don't need to be worried. My kids are from Ron's neck of the woods, so.
Aye. So I apologise now. I haven't had a beer for 2 weeks, and now I've decided it's a good night to have a beer.
Yeah, so be prepared, Ron, because he gets a bit naughty.
Okay.
Only a little. There we go. About a topic. Hang about. I've got a couple more questions up here that I missed. That Tony put in, which is probably. Oh, and Susan. Question: if a kahaku loses its bene, not orange, will it ever come back? I.e., right? She's got a kahaku that had a lovely pattern that she was really fond of, and with the ulcerations that the fish got with the bacterial infection, will that come back or heal back up? And when it heals back up, will it just stay as white Saroji?
Once it's gone, it's gone.
That's not what I wanted to hear, Susan, but there you go, love. It looks like you have now got yourself a lovely Shuramuji. Or the opportunity to replace it and buy yourself a new kahaku. Look at the positives. Tony from Samoa. Yeah, she is in America, yeah.
Crafty's like nodding like, come and see me, but
well, you can ship her one out. Oh no, you don't. No, you don't. Sorry.
Don't go to America.
Yeah. When quarantining koi, what temperatures are they heat ramped to, and for how long? So, i.e., the process of heat ramping up and down, and let's add a little bit extra to it. Why? What is it you're doing it for as well? So, over to you guys. As you're all going to be doing a lot of this in the very near future. We'll go.
I'm the one person that doesn't do it, so.
Well, you don't need to do, do you? Yeah.
No. I believe it's 26 degrees.
Yeah.
Take them up to about 26. 2 weeks, drop them quite quickly down to 18, and then you stress them a couple of weeks and back up again.
When you say quite quickly, Rick, how quick are we talking? Are we talking? Is it overnight? Is it a couple of days?
No.
Or...
Over a few days. To be fair,
so you're bringing them down. You're bringing them down to what temperatures to stress?
You're basically trying to trigger KHV is the main thing you're trying to trigger, and the temperature zone it is active in is sort of 18 to 25, whatever. So you're bringing them up and down through that kind of window over a period, and 2 weeks up. If you've got 6 weeks quarantine, you might as well give them 2 weeks hot, drop them down quite quickly. You're stressing them. If it's going to come out, then you bring it up. And it's one of those things. If they've got hidden, not just nasty problems like KHV, but parasite problems as well, that will bring out a lot of stuff. And then
you will generally get a parasite problem in something that comes back in Japan anyway. You know, you're elevating the stress immediately. Some, not all of them, and others. And you're also looking to not just the KHV, you're looking to bring out the sleeping sickness in the fish as well. So any good dealer that's importing they should. If they number one, they shouldn't mix their breeders. Right, that way is traceability. So if you conduct the heat ramping process exactly like Rick said, you're coming up, you're coming down, and this eye, and the bit that people miss is that it's got to be a decent 2-year-old fish that has already been through that treatment, potentially already had sleeping sickness, right? Because it's got an immunity, it may also be a carrier. Right, so you're introducing that into the pond to try and get those new fish into a period that you don't want to sell to your customers, basically, and then it's up to you then as a dealer to then bring them out of that problem, know that they're fixed, and then move them on. So that's basically what we're doing.
A couple of questions off that one then, Crafty.
Yeah.
So can you class or can you say that you've quarantined your fish when you haven't heat ramped?
Yes.
No.
Yes, you can.
Not from without the heat ramping process, right? I think that you're playing a dodgy game. For me, a heat ramping process is a must, right? So if you're bringing in fish from Orna Fish, for example, all right, and they're going into cold ponds and they've been sat in ponds for 6 weeks and you've dealt with whatever problems and then you put them out, you're not quarantining them properly. You're not preventing issues from being introduced.
The problem is the quarantine means to isolate, to keep separate, to do so. Quarantining, you can buy them, hold them, and that's quarantine. Heat ramping's a separate thing that should be done.
What is the perspective of the hobbyists when they say have they been quarantined? What are they actually expecting?
Yeah.
Are they expecting us to have done the heat ramping, which obviously Crafty himself and a few others do, but there's a lot of people out there that don't heat ramp but still say they're quarantining the fish.
But if they have quarantined, if they have kept them separate for 6 weeks, technically they've quarantined them. But in reality, that's like shit quarantine against heat ramping, which is good quarantine. Mixing with other fish that might have sleeping sickness is even better. So it's like stage, isn't it? Sea facets, whatever. It's you can't get a term, and most people don't even quarantine properly for 6 weeks. You can go and buy fish. You can do all sorts.
Was there a time that it was a legal requirement to quarantine?
Never.
And to heat ramp?
Never has been.
Never been a legal requirement to quarantine.
Ever.
The quarantine facility at Heathrow, they take the fish off the plane and you go and get them about an hour later. A bit of a strange name for it, isn't it?
Yep. Yeah.
That's where you've got to trust where you're getting the source you're getting your fish from. You've got to trust where they're coming from, how they've been looked after, what they've been through. It is a minefield.
But it's down to the hobbyist as well, because the hobbyist has got to know what they're asking. They're the ones who've got to go into the shops, the dealers, and say, "Where's your pet shop license?"
Sorry. Alan Tate's daughter wants to know where you live. She's sharpening a knife.
Dorchester.
Mate, don't give your address to her, mate. She's psycho.
Yeah, I'll be safe. You don't get on the wall with nothing.
But here's a question, Ron, right? With your, do you ask any dealers that you go to what their procedures are with regards to bringing fish in and what their treatments are, etc., etc.?
No.
Will you do now?
I don't think I'll get any more.
Oh, well, there you go.
You will.
I think the 4 big ones, they come from someone on Facebook, and then the others I got from a queer shop.
Yeah, but you will get more.
But yeah, as you get into the hobby, you might decide you lose a couple, you want to bring new fish in or whatever. But that's when it gets, the more fish you've got that you love, the more scary it is when you bring new ones in that might cause problems. But people don't. I mean, we deal with so many customers, and most people, they trust the person they're buying from. These fish healthy? Yes. Done. That's they trust where they're buying them from, and that's how it should be. But as a dealer, you should have the integrity to know that their fish are good to sell or not.
Where I get mine from, I trust. There's a lot of koi places by me, and a lot of them, when you look at the fish, you can see they've got problems. I'd never get them from there.
Good.
Perfect. That's great, isn't it? Because that's what you should do. But a lot of people still don't. They walk into a place and see a fish lead on the bottom half dead and still go, "Oh, I like that one though." Next door.
Yeah. Yeah, I think sometimes when you're purchasing fish, if you spot something, you've got to do that thing, haven't you? You've got to politely, thanks very much, cheers, quickly make your exit to the door and not purchase. But some people see a fish and think, oh, I really like that, but this tank's all right. But you don't know whether or not the systems are all linked through to one. And that's the risk that you take. I mean, I suppose you could always ask, point out the fish, see what they say, and then chance it if you wanted to, but it wouldn't be something I'd ever do. I've never purchased from anywhere if I've seen something that looked ropey.
Yeah,
And I've seen
no, I
ropey
wouldn't.
ones.
When you say you wouldn't buy from them, is that garden centres or dealers?
A mix of both. That swallows, they have fish there, but when you go there, they've got ulcers on them.
Yeah, they're respectful though, Ron.
I'd never get.
We'll bleep that bit out when we edit it.
Oh, okay.
No. It's fine.
It is what it is, mate. If they are what they are, they are what they are.
You know.
Other koi dealers are available.
Yeah.
But that's the point. If you trust the person you're buying the fish from, and they can tell you where it's from, what it's been through, that. But most people that keep fish don't necessarily think of those things. How to heat ramping to most people that keep a koi, then what are you talking about?
Yeah.
You know, that fish looks like or whatever. So you got to be realistic about what dealers should do, what dealers perhaps do. You know, where the fish, you talk about, some people are bringing fish in from Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, all sorts of places, be it England, Japan, they come from all over, and there is no ornamental fish have no rules or regulations where they come from, what health they're in. You know, it is insane.
Yeah, it is a minefield, mate, isn't it? Or can be.
We've been through this years ago when KHV was a problem, and you can't import a carp, a normal mirror carp from France, because they've got SVC and KHV and whatever. That's the hoops you've got to jump through to do that are insane. Yet you can buy a box of ornamental fish from Singapore that they know have got all these problems. That's fine. That's just trade. That's allowed.
That's mad.
That's red tape. It's bureaucracy.
Is that because of the fact that the non-invasive species that could be introduced into our waterways, and if they are coming in with KHV, SHV, and all the rest of it, then you could be introducing that to our waterways.
No. Whereas ornamental fish are treated different to so a carp that you buy for a fishing lake is different to an ornamental koi, although they're genetically the same animal. So if you want to get round the rules and you want to buy a £50 carp for your lake from Israel, you can say, well, it's an ornamental carp. It's not really a normal carp, and then you don't have to go. It is bonkers, and that's just the world we live in, isn't it?
Yeah, crackers.
So they're trying to protect one environment whilst having free for all from another environment. And how many ornamental fish get dumped into rivers and lakes and whatever?
And like you were saying, they've relaxed that now anyway, haven't they? To a point where KHV is, they've given in.
They can't monitor. It's too widespread now. So they were going to take it off the notifiable list.
Yeah, and that's because it's worldwide spread now.
It's not worldwide spread. That's England. That's nothing to do with anywhere else on the planet. That's just England.
Oh, right. Okay.
Don't go to Japan and say it's a right to KHV over here, because you'll get hung up by your.
Oh, it's almost impossible to track.
I just wondered if it'd been relaxed throughout because it was so widespread that it's.
No, that's purely England. That's just from our our fish health.
So we've just done the
inspectorate point
typical
of view,
English thing and said,
yeah. So from our health, so I think there was 12 fish health inspectorates in England checking every shellfish farm, salmon farm, trout farm, ornamental farm, whatever. So they've got to try and cover that, and it's too widespread. So they've gone, we can't control this anymore. We now have KHV in this country. No longer is it notifiable because it's uncontrollable, and that's that. But that's England. That's nowhere else. That's just us.
Has that come into play already, Rick? As in not notifiable?
I don't know. I don't know. Legislative problem. I'll give you May the 1st. Made that up. I don't know. It's soon. It is coming because they can't. It's too widespread. It's in too many waters. So at the end of the day, we can't control it.
what about we're going back to the little bit that we were talking about with heat ramping? You know, everybody talks, and then I've got a question then from Rob as well. Everybody talks about Aromonas alley, which is somewhere in the regions from 14 degrees through to 16, 18 degrees. The dodgy time.
Can I jump in there, Gaz, and just stop
Yes.
this right now? This is an old wives' tale, right? Yes. There's a particular temperature zone when bacteria will destroy your koi in a bad place. I don't know with buzzing. It might not be me. It could be me. But if you haven't got Aromonas on your fish, it's not a problem.
Well,
Right?
the reason why we're asking that is if you kept them for a period of time throughout that 6 weeks at that temperature to see if any of that showed itself.
You'd see it, mate. If you've got a serious ulcerating Aromonas, Pseudomonas bacteria on your fish, you will put, if you put them in for any kind of stress, you will see the telltale signs, and it's
that would show its head anyway.
It's pretty much been eradicated from koi farming because of husbandry, because of selective. It's just one of those things. In the olden days, yes, you had a temperature zone between 14 and 20 degrees when it would destroy your fish. If it's not there, it can't destroy your fish. You can't.
The only way it can get there is by introducing it, by bringing it in with.
If I held my fish at 14 to 6, well, that's our temperature pretty much.
Well, I said that's Huddersfield all the time. So
yeah, it's one of those things. If you introduce a fish with ulcers to your pond, and in that window of those temperatures, it will do its most damage. When it's colder, the bacteria multiplies less, does less damage. Take it hotter, the fish's immune system deals with it better, does less damage. But it's still going to be there whenever you're in that window. So they used to call it Aromonas alley because a lot of the fish you brought in from Japan, from Israel, from wherever had these problems. A lot of ponds had these problems. And if you were in that temperature zone, these problems are worse.
yeah,
If you've got a clean fish and you hold it at 14 to 20 degrees, it is not going to suddenly have problems with a bacterial disease out of the blue because you've got it at that temperature.
Yeah, there's if you read reports that Paula Reynolds puts out, you know, they are there. You have to find them, but they're there. The most common contributor to bacteria in your pond is poor fish keeping and filter maintenance.
yeah, husbandry. Oh,
Yeah, husbandry, mate. Yeah, you know. However, if you're on it, I'm not saying if you don't clean your filters out once a week that you're going to get bacteria, but you're just elevating the chances. So
yeah.
when people come and see me in the shop and there's fish that are half dead, like zombies, for example, and you say, how often do you clean your filter? And I say, oh, once a week. And then they show you the filter setup, and that filter ain't been clean for a bloody long time. You know, it's definitely some, you know, for most people, if not all people in this, in tonight's show, they will do enough to keep that out. And then we see other things on YouTube as well, where, for example, the Nexus gets quite a bad. I can't call it a review because it's not a review, but gets bad press because when it's stripped down and there's a little bit of fish shit knocking about, it's like
When you got it at the bottom, when you've gone through,
but there's just not enough there.
That's what it's supposed to be, though, isn't it? It's supposed to be in the filter because that's where you're pulling it out. It's the maintaining and cycling it out, cleaning it out, and rinsing it out, that gets rid of it, innit? So
he's
better there than in the pond.
Yeah, mate, it's absolutely nothing wrong with Nexus filters. You keep them clean, they'll do the job. And a little bit of crap that's around the filters. And Rick will say, the amount of shit that goes through our filters, right? You're probably looking at a month's worth in 3 days. We hold that many fish in a small volume of water, right? So you can't tell me if you're cleaning your pond 3 days a week with a minimal amount of stock in a decent sized pond that's what's causing your bacteria. It's not. It's bullshit.
Yeah, my whole take on it is, obviously, I'm a fish farmer. Fish live in shit. Literally, in the mud pond, they are living in their own feces, and that becomes part of the natural cycle. So when people have got a bit of crap in their filter, that is not going to generate a problem. When you chat to them, they'll have introduced the fish 3 weeks before. Something else, or the water's, the ammonia is high. There'll be an issue, but in reality, you can't generate a whole species of bacteria or virus or whatever because you've got blood in your filter. Oh,
yeah, I mean,
doorbell's ringing.
It's not mine. There was somebody or a customer of my shop. I ain't going to name any names or dealers, etc. But he was seeing issues with 2 of his fish. Ulceration, but didn't look bad enough to say that it was a serious bacterial issue. So going through the normal topical treatment, ulcer swabs, etc., hoping that in time that will do the trick. Didn't. He'd done his due diligence and sent off a test to Paula and come back with a bacterial infection. I then looked at what that bacterial infection was through Paula Reynolds in the reports that she writes. And what was quite interesting was that it was a bacteria that attacked poor health, koi in poor health. And it's easy to track back where it come from, right? But then ultimately there was a second and third type of bacteria that was picked up in the swabbing, which was a co-host of the bacteria that initiated the issue. So basically, the bacteria that started to eat away at the tissue then creates a waste, and then another bacteria comes along and then eats that waste, creates a waste, and then a third bacteria comes in and eats the waste of that bacteria. So when you put them all 3 together, that's when you start seeing everything start to really disappear quickly in your fish. So the more bacteria you get, the more aggressive it appears, and now that's how quick it destroys your fish. So
that's got to be something very similar to that's been going around for the last 2 years or so plus.
Yeah, no, it's not
a similar sort of type of, because that was a very fast accelerating,
very aggressive
bacteria. That wasn't it? That was crazy. That
it wasn't. I can't say any more than I did, but it wasn't linked to anything from 2 years ago. From what I can see, just because of where the dealers come. Well,
I mean, just in the sense of that's how how it can accelerate so fast with it does.
Yeah,
I mean,
the interesting fact was what come back from Paula Reynolds when you start actually looking at what the germs are that are causing the issue. The other thing is that bacteria, mate, are nasty things, aren't they? The other interesting thing is that too many people jump on the bacteria bandwagon when there's not a bacteria to worry about, not something that's going to wipe your pond out without a little bit of proactive sort of medication, easily treated.
Every pond must have 1,000 types of bacteria. I mean, not so funny. It's like they're not an issue. Viruses, bacteria, you live with them in your gut, in your health, everywhere. It's only when you get a nasty strain, and generally the nasty strains
on a weaker immune system.
Yeah, but they can't live without a host. So at the end of the day, you've got to introduce it with the host. That is the key. That is where quarantine, and that is where the whole thing comes from. yes, if you've got a pond of fish and you've got really shit water because you've not cleaned the filters, and the fish knock themselves, of course you'll get bacterial problems that are quite easily dealt with and treated by salting the water and treating the fish. But what we're talking about are the nasty problems that you've got the most pristine pond and you put a fish in there, and 2 weeks later you've got holes in your fish and they're just disintegrating. That is a really aggressive bacteria that's come from the host
Something.
juice.
Yeah.
You know, they're super strong. Koi, carp, whatever, a proper strong character. Not dogs, aren't they?
Even when they got fucking holes in them, you know, they'll swim as if there's nothing wrong.
I've seen it firsthand. I've seen them with like as big as my fist, and still rushing to the surface for food with the rest of them.
Yeah, it's
And then
weird.
heal up.
Just like the living dead, like the Walking Dead.
It is.
Still hungry, but look like shit.
Yeah, 100%.
That's me.
Yeah,
Right then, quick one from Rob. He's put in there. I saw a topic the other day on YouTube. Does anyone think shower filters give a higher 100% chance of parasites surviving treatments?
No.
Only if you do what a lot of people often ask me is turning them off when they're doing treatment.
What you got to remember is that a parasite needs a host in order to really take a hold. You know, it's a lot of stuff. You know, what a lot of people don't do is scrape upon walls and sees what's actually on them. You'll come across parasites all the time, even off upon walls. Right?
They're not real. They're not true parasite. The meaning of parasite means it's got to be on.
Yeah, parasite
It's
means
parasite.
it lives upon a host, doesn't it? It's parasitical.
Yeah.
The reality is you get some treatments. I think Kasuri do one that they recommend turning backy showers and stuff off because the backy shower will break down the treatment faster before the flukes or whatever can absorb the treatment. But if you turn the backy shower off and there's either fluke eggs or juvenile flukes in the shower, then they're not getting the dose of the treatment.
Sure.
So in reality, you need to make sure every water bit is getting
Anything that comes into contact with water should have part of the treatment.
Yeah. So if you've got a treatment to turn the shower off and use the treatment, then that shower is potentially harboring the problem. It might only have to have 2 fluke eggs, and then you're still going to have the problem or whatever. It's common sense, isn't it? They live in an environment. Water harbors the good, the bad, the ugly, whatever it is you're trying to deal with. You can't just turn a bit off, treat the fish. It's like taking your fish out and dipping them, isn't it?
Yep.
That's something in the olden days. You go, oh yeah, you take your fish out, you dip it with potassium or malachite form, whatever. Not the parasites off, put them back in the pond. But there's still no level of parasite looking for a host. Oh, now you've got a fish that's ready for it.
Well, while we're on the topic of parasites, myself and Ron and Matt have had a conversation about one of Ron's fish. Remember when I was saying to you, Rick, that I've got a fish that's rising up, like coming out of the water, like almost like it's trying to flush its gills, in a sense, coming up, gulping at the water, dropping back down, blowing a load of bubbles out, and it's doing it again and again and again and again and again. Now, what do you think that could possibly be that could be affecting Ron's fish?
You need to check the gills.
Yeah, so I scraped 3 of them. There's no parasites, but the big white one, that's the one that's doing it. And when I got him in the net, he really freaked out and he went on his back and basically played dead. But today he hasn't gone up once. So I don't know if he had something stuck in the way he acted.
If you pull his gills back, though, his gill plates back to look at the gills in
She
the
couldn't, because when she netted him up, he rolled over and turned onto his back, turned upside down. It's a stressed fish, bleeds from the gills, tends to bleed from the gills if she balls it up as well. So that's what I suggested, to have a look down the mouth to see if you could see something in the gill, try to lift the gill plate to see if there was something lodged in there. If not, and it's clear, then it could be gill flukes. and it's irritated at the gills trying to flush itself or trying to freeze something out that's lodged in there.
You still need to have a look at the gills, make sure that they're a nice liver colour. Just
Well, I
because
didn't know I can do that.
why?
Is risk would you risk it, or would you go for a treatment for gill flukes or combined treatment which does flukes and gill flukes?
The problem that we've got,
When the fish is risking them rolling over and turning upside down and bellying up, that's a fish that gets particularly stressed. Is it? Would you want to risk taking that fish out of your pond, bleeding gills, rolling over? Next thing's fatality, isn't it? So
let's look back on everything. It's like, are you heated? Number one.
No.
No, right. So straight away, even if we're looking at gill fluke, we're looking at issues with water temperature for treatments. Number one.
Kasuri fluke P treats down to 0.
It does, but how effective?
Not as effective, exactly.
Right?
Well, we've got to
So,
do it, yeah.
but yeah. Number two, are we seeing heavy mucus on just that one fish, or
No, I've scraped 3 of them and there's nothing.
they're clean?
Yeah.
Right. So, to me, if we haven't got a problem across the pond and it's just one fish, chances are it's nothing to do with fluke or parasite.
Sounds more like something lodged in the gill.
It could be just end of life. It could be an issue with the fish itself. It's got poorly.
Can you do a lot of video? Is it like a big Deutz Platinum or something?
It is.
Bear with me a second. It is a big Deutsch Platinum, yeah.
Why?
I don't know. Just yeah, probably it might have a swim bladder issue or whatever. Something and
Yeah, I've seen that online, but one of my indoor goldfish has that.
yeah.
Right. It's since you. Has it only done that since you've introduced it into the new pond?
Yeah, so I don't know. Do you think it could just be stress where it's all new?
Okay, so how long did you let your pond run, and did you use completely new water before you introduced the fish?
Yeah, but their old filters and that are running with it.
How long did right? Okay, so when you've introduced your fish into your new pond, did you let it run at all? The water, did you allow it to gas off? Did you allow it to mature itself before?
I
putting the
only
fish in?
left it 2-3 days, and then
Right. Okay. So,
But aerated and filter running.
right. So one thing that we're overlooking here is water quality.
I've tested
Chlorine.
it and everything's fine.
Right.
The
Okay.
only thing-
You wouldn't have tested for things like metal and chloramine or anything like that, you see, because the water testing kits don't allow it, or you haven't got the right equipment. It could be introduction of heavy metals into your water on such a scale that it's really fucking about with a gill on the fish.
Okay.
But that would show up on all of them.
Not
Craft.
necessarily, mate. They've all not every koi has got a different strength, hasn't it? So this one may particularly be a little bit more weak to the water quality. We right. If
Well, we might be
if
doing it
it's
exactly the same
fish,
kind of thing, whereas gill flukes, but
but
that's
again,
what mine was.
yeah. But your situation was completely different to Ron's. When we're looking at if it's only just started to happen from introducing into a new pond, we've got to look at what's changed from the fish's environment. So when we start looking at if it's happened from a new pond setup, right,
What about
and we know
what
it's
about
not ammonia, nitrite, pH, KH, and we know the fish are scraping clear, and it's only affecting one fish. You've got to look at the habitat. So it may be something like that. You may find, and this ain't a plug.
I'm just going to say it same pond detox.
Yeah, you may find that something like that may just lift it enough just to give it that little boost that it's need. Because I've been speaking to Andy Finch because he come down to the shop a couple of days ago, and Andy is a water expert. He does all of our pre-filtration systems, both on koi and trops and marine. And we both stock pond detox by Utopia, Aqua Utopia. It's a new product on the market. Andy was telling me how it really does strip the metals out the water, but we've got to look at how it's used in order to get the right, sort of levels of, do you use it once? Do you use it constantly? Do you use it instead of a pre-filtration system, etc., etc.? But what it will do, it will definitely pull the metals out the water, and that may just help you. I'm not saying it's the exact science behind it, but when we look at all of the differentials that you've gone through, that could be what we're looking at. It's one that you've got to strike out, I think.
Yeah.
Or it could be a Deutsche Platinum that's got an issue with swim bladder.
Yeah, or it could be.
How else would I know if it is swim bladder?
When you watch it swimming, does it tend to sort of, if it stops paddling, does it sink?
No. He's completely normal. Yeah.
Mine does, Rick.
Yours does.
Mine was the one that got smashed in the guts by that Yamabuki Ogon. And then after that, it's always had trouble with buoyancy. But then I assumed that because it were always down on the bottom all the time, that was my fish that's always picking up more parasites all the time. And every time I do a scrape on that fish, it's always got flukes. Or when I've got an issue, it's always like a little rave party on him more than anything else. But when I asked you about it, you told me, and I checked the gills. I did a scrape from inside the gills, and sure enough, there were flukes in the gills.
Yeah,
so we did that heavy salt treatment on it, give it a good kick up ass with that, and then I fluke peed after Kasuri fluke pee.
No, the other thing, mate, is temperatures. It's a fucking pain in the ass. I'm going through a problem in my personal pond at the minute. Temperatures are, because I've turned the heat off. It's fucking my fish about massively.
Well, they hate it, don't they? All koi would rather be sat at 20, 25 degrees all year round, wouldn't they? And so would I, to be honest. I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah, so would our missus, mate. She's the same.
So what would you think's best course of advice for it? I mean, I wish I'd downloaded the video and put it on off the phone.
I'd watch it, but if at the end of the day, you're at cold temperatures, but if it generally is looking for food and behaving right, it's probably not a parasite problem. If it's a fish that's struggling and gulping for air, then you go, yeah, maybe it's got a gill problem or it has got an issue with swim bladder or whatever. But Deutsche Platinums, there's certain koi varieties that have issues across the board to some degree.
You got to go.
The genetics, it's like saying an English bull terrier is not great at breathing when it runs, or this variety, they're bred and things occur with them. Do you think it's that me with that buzz, or you? Can you all hear that buzz, or is that me?
Yeah, there's a buzz every now and again from somebody's connection, but it is what it is. This is what it's doing, Rick.
And then he just goes to the bottom and blows a load of bubbles out.
Yeah, it's proper chunky, isn't it?
Yeah, nice.
It's got a good shape. If it goes to the bottom and sort of
blows loads of bubbles out, which is exactly what mine does.
It's clearing the gill, so some is irritating the gill without a shadow of doubt.
Rick, if it's had polymers in the past with its gills bleeding, could it be the aftermath repairing itself?
You just get some fish that do hemorrhage from the gill whenever you lift them out of the water, because there's a massive pressure change. Imagine your gill filaments are in the water, and as soon as you take them out, quite often that change of pressure will hemorrhage from those gills. But yeah, the bigger a fish gets, and this is where it gets a bit crazy. So a koi only has a certain amount of gill filaments, and certain varieties have less. So when they're smaller, they're fine, but as they get bigger, and a big bodied Deutsch fish that has poor gill filaments, they can't grow anymore. They've got the same size lungs, gills. So the fish gets bigger and bigger and then struggles to change the gases in its body and whatever. So you've gone down a whole again, another rabbit hole of the bigger that fish gets, perhaps the worse that is going to be. And the more oxygen it's got, the better temperature. But you're at cold temperatures with lots of oxygen, so that's probably not an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, if all the other fish are fine and the water parameters are fine, just leave it.
Monitor it, see how it does.
Yeah, you might find as the water temperatures increase, the fish becomes better. You might find that fish has got a little tumor and it's affecting its swim bladder and it's just doing silly. It's like if you've got a population of 50 fish and one of them is doing something daft, it's probably that one fish has got an issue.
Yeah.
It's not a health problem. It's just that fish has got an issue.
Who's your water supplier?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Thames?
Yeah, mine's probably.
Yeah.
To be honest, if it's a water issue from your water source, then more fish would be having it. If you've got one fish,
it's just him.
Yeah. I get where Craft is coming from because water quality will do a lot of damage, but if it's just one fish and the rest are all right, then.
But then, you know, from what I've seen personally in my pond, I've had more than one fish, but ultimately it affects one fish first more than anything. So, you know, I'd rather go down a route of prevention rather than risk. So, you know, something's better than nothing, especially something like a water detox, for example, is better than not doing it.
That's the thing. There's no harm in trying that. You can try the detox and strip in, and it does what it says on the tin. But my issue with it is I'm spending a lot of money putting magnesium, potassium, and all this stuff in the water. If I use detox, I'm putting one thing in for money. I'm taking something out with money.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, what am I doing? But that's a different scenario. At the end of the day, if you try a detox and the fish is happier, it's phenomenal. And you know how that fish is behaving. And if you try something and it behaves better, then it's probably helping it.
It's better to try something than do nothing, in my opinion. You know, I'm not, like I said, I don't think that it's an exact science, but again, the koi hobby is about trial and error and watching.
Usually what I'm up to, mate.
Yeah. True. It's so true, isn't it?
Right. Quick topic change then, just for a short period of time. And Rick, this one's sorry, mate, but this one is kind of aimed at you because you're the cause of it. Evening all, looking forward to Rick's growing show. I'm starting to think about the setup. Can you suggest any ideas, guys?
I can. Straight away, you need water.
Water, yes.
Right, water's a must.
Must. Well, going on the last growing show, the best results were in the best in the ponds that were heated, obviously. There was all sorts of different varieties of amounts of volume, weren't there? Some that were crazy amounts that still did really well.
I think the reality with any koi at an early age is if you get stuff, you get it right. So temperature, food, space, water quality is amazing. That's kind of your king. But the bigger the volume of water you're trying to keep them in, the harder it is to keep at the right temperature. The harder it is to get the food where the fish want it without creating pollution. So there's an ideal. So in this instance, we're doing 100 fries. So the ideal environment might be 3 foot square cube at 25 degrees for the first 2 weeks, but then that needs to get bigger, or you need to reduce the fish. And this is where the skill of koi keeping comes in, to be able to get enough food into them at the right temperature, with the right water quality, with the right all these parameters. And we're already seeing the amount of sunlight, the hormone levels in the ponds, the type of food fed, if it all makes a difference. So I can't turn around and say this is the blueprint. I'm going to put mine in 1,000. When I take my 100 out, I'm going to put them in basically a 1 meter cubed vat of water, fully filtered, and absolutely ram live food. Because as much as we're going to supply the food for everyone, live food is better than the food we supply. But I can't supply live food for everyone else, so I'm going to get the advantage. But we'll supply shrimp. Everyone can do their stuff. People do the live food.
I sell live food.
Yeah, but that's the thing. But the reality is the amount that they eat is insane.
Yeah.
Absolutely bonkers. And all
It is.
and as soon as you buy a commercial diet,
it, man, it's nuts. They don't stop, do they?
But if you buy a commercial diet that's dried and created, it's crap. There is not one. We will supply one. We will use one, but it's nowhere near as good as. It's like spacemen eating little pellets of dehydrated whatever against proper food. There is there's no comparison. Those early weeks, so we'll do everything for the first 4 weeks, and then they get their fish, and those next 4 weeks are probably make or break, and that is what you need. Brine shrimp, if you can get access to Daphnia, bloodworm. Crafty's obviously got some live food on stock.
I've got all of that.
But that's where I mix our commercial diets with ground up nuts, with vegetable powders, and I create my own diet that I think is much more suitable for our fish than the stuff I'm buying designed for the fish. As bad as that sounds, the stuff that is designed as a commercial food is not great.
Yeah, but why does that sound bad if you're doing something that someone else is already doing but making money out of it? It's like I don't sell it.
Not
bad, is it? I know you
sell
don't.
It,
I know you don't. But as bad as that sounds, when there's commercial stuff out there, well, why is that bad if you're turning to something that's got more nutritional value that's better than for your fish? Because I'd agree, the commercial, they cut the costs right back in order to make a margin, mate. So
it's not only they cut the costs back, they have to do, they have to hit. So the food coming from Europe has to fit certain criteria. They can't use products that aren't easily reject. Well, I don't know what the word is. So like fish meal is a no-no. Soybean meal is becoming a no-no. So they're obviously products that cost too much to produce or do too much damage to the environment to use as a commercial food. So they have to go down different avenues.
Just while I've got a quick break in there, I'm going to bring this up because one of our admin has done this evening. Scraggs, congratulations on the 1K sub, mate. For all those that aren't following Scragg, there is a link to his channel. And swing by, give him another lift and get him up above it and show him a bit more support. Congratulations, mate.
Have you got a link to your hand? Have you got a handle to your page, Ron?
You didn't send me one, did you?
Well,
Come on, Ron.
Yeah, you didn't.
I
Send me
know.
one.
I asked her tonight, and she still hasn't done it.
the same as that. My name on here.
Just put
Ron
Ron-
Harvis on TikTok, guys. You need to go check that one out and see if we can give. Well, saying that, was it 89,000 you've already got?
I think so. Around there.
Something is
I've
close.
got 89.
Very close. Very, very close.
I've got at least 89 followers.
I've got about 89 and all.
There's no thousands involved, but 89.
I got between 8 and 9.
You haven't got 8 now.
Take yours down.
Jack the Balding Reaper says, Ron, you got a YouTube channel asking for a friend.
I don't know.
Just want to support all creators, mate.
No, I don't.
TikTok only, mate, but she has got a very large TikTok channel. Very large.
However, I noticed that you went to your first koi show last year.
In the summer, yeah.
Was it
What did you
crowdfunded?
think to it?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice to see some like proper big fish.
Is that that's a good point? That's just the point. So when you went to the big fish was the thing that like attracted you. Know, when you went there, the big fish was the thing that you thought was amazing.
I like the most. Yeah, just the
Yeah,
big fish.
not-
I
well,
got 2 little babies from there.
But that's the thing, isn't it? So people go to koi shows, and you obviously when we're in the industry, you don't necessarily get why they go. What's the best thing about it? Like you're saying, is seeing the big ones. Gaz don't like big fish. Oh, they look ugly. Look at them.
No,
He's
I
going
like.
to the Japan show. They will look ugly.
No, I
I'm
like.
going to
them.
see some of the biggest fish he's ever seen in his life soon.
But that's the thing, isn't it? To work out why people go and why they'd go back. Would you go back to another koi show?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
And what would you like to see? Bigger fish or more fish? What?
Yeah, it's just a big
It's
fish.
kind of a bit weird. Just
I think the first time I went to a koi show, that was what impressed me more than anything. To see fish of that size, we're like, wow, man, this.
Yeah, that's what I like.
I mean, I've seen big fish in koi stores, but not to the quality of those fish. I mean, some of those fish, when you see a kahaka with that big. Now then, Mr. Tate, if you are still watching, I forgot what it's called. There's an actual name when they've got those chubby cheeks. It's actually got a proper name for it, a term that is used in Japan, and I forgot what it's
hamster
called.
cheeks.
I sent
Yeah.
you,
But-
I sent you a big list of terminology.
Was it? Yeah, I know, mate. That list's well interesting. There's tons of them, tons and tons of stuff on it. While I have got this one quick second, what I am going to do is I am going to share that there. For all those of you out there that are technically minded, if you point your camera at that now, that will take you straight to Ron's channel on TikTok. So
Thank you.
give it a quick swipe with your camera and go give her a sub, a follow, because it's TikTok. I'll leave it there for you a few seconds.
Isn't that the same thing, though?
No.
Gaz, I just took a photo. It's gone.
Oh, wait, you laughed. I'll tell you what we're at. We're at 1 hour 31 minutes, Rick. You can go straight back to that point later on, and then you can.
I think TikTok kicked me off anyway.
Did they?
Yeah.
I had a video removed from them for breaking community guidelines.
Me too, mate. I had my channel first. I first started my first one off, Gaz's Koi Pond on there. I put out 2 videos and I got struck off and banned. Well, like, that's a bit harsh. I only played a bit of
don't
music.
tell you what guidelines you've broke.
Oh,
That's
I had
the
no
fucking
idea
thing
what
that
I'd done.
pissed me off.
And not that I've done anything different since, like, but yeah.
I'll blame
It is what
Ron.
it is.
I think it's
Susan
selling
says
fish.
there, Gaz got final test results, no virus, no moles, no fungus, just the bacteria in the pond. So that's good because I've got it under control now. Fantastic, Susan. And hopefully, fingers crossed, your fish make a good recovery from it as well.
And if you have, well done for sticking at it. Because
a lot of people would have just said, well, not so much sod it like, but a lot of people would have been so disheartened with it, they'd have probably given.
Don't give in. Makes you stronger.
It does. It's a learning curve, isn't it? It is.
Of course it's learning, isn't it? We all learn.
So let's go back on the koi show scene to Ron.
Yeah.
Right. So
Crafty wants to see you at his next event.
not at all. It's for someone that goes there for the first time, the big fish is what enticed you. Going back to a different show like the National, right? I think you went to the Crouch Valley looking at the surroundings.
Yeah.
If you was to go to somewhere like the National, there's a lot more bigger fish on show at that show. When you was looking at them fish, right, other than the size, do you have an understanding now of what a show fish is in comparison to a pond fish, for example? Did you learn anything from it?
Yeah.
So would you say that the koi show scene gives you more interest into what the next level is within keeping koi and understanding quality, etc.?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Do you know your varieties?
No,
This is a bit harsh, isn't it?
No, I mean, it's not harsh mate, at all. Because that's one thing when I went to the koi show. What triggered me to want to learn more about what the varieties were, because there were fish in there that are like, I know it's a koi, but what type is that? I didn't know what they were. So the first time I ever went and saw them, I thought, oh, there's a lot of stuff that I can do a little bit of research on there and find out a lot more information on them and find out what they are. Because that, I mean, when you look at them and you're reading the paperwork and it says Kawari Mono, I was like, well, that's on so many different fish. Which one's that one referring to? Then you look at the picture and think, oh, and then having a chat with somebody else and asking what the Kawari Mono was, which was a category for certain types of fish that don't fall into the typical Gosanke, then it were a bit more of a, oh, all right, this is because you can get a lot of information from it just by having a look on the little charts when they're handing out the results and stuff as well. But it's cool to research and look into it a bit more. That's rad.
We've just had a comment there from the Japanese contributor, mate. I'm
The
just
Japanese
translating.
contributor.
Yeah, well, I didn't know how to say it, but everyone in Japan is praying today to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Great Hanshin Awaki earthquake.
Oh my God.
So that was that one that like literally fucking tore down the mountains, man.
And how many years is that? 30 years ago. Wow.
No, it's not.
No, the one that they're celebrating is.
All right.
The one,
Not
the last
koi,
one.
not the one I'm thinking about. No.
Yeah, you're
No,
thinking
no,
the one in
that-
2014, which tore through Nagata and all that lot. That was, yeah. They just had
when
one
you
quite-
go out there, Guz, there's a very good chance you'll go down the road where literally the whole of the side of the mountain collapsed and killed a lot of people on a roadway. They've got a memoriam at the side of the road naming everyone that lost their lives there. Yeah, and it's kept pristine, mate, as you would expect.
Are you saying in England it wouldn't be kept pristine?
Absolutely, I am. Yeah.
Yeah, fucking would it?
No.
Ron, what's your cat called?
You'd struggle to get a memoriam put up.
What's your cat called?
This is Bunny.
Bonnie.
Bunny.
Bunny the cat.
Yes.
Bunny, but yeah, I thought I heard that. So you've got a cat called Bunny.
Yeah. I
And a
got
bunny
a
called, have you got a bunny called Cat by any chance?
No, but I want to get a bunny called Cat.
You got a blue staff, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. And what's the other one? A bull mastiff?
Oh, you'd like him, Cal.
Yeah. The staff, I used to have two staffers, but I ain't got them no more. They're past. But yeah, they're one hell of a in-your-face dog, aren't they?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Let's stop.
You what?
Never stop. They never stop. Even when my eldest got to about 15-year-old, she was still a whirlwind right up to the last couple of weeks of her life.
Yeah, she just.
I like them.
It's sweet, but she's very full on.
Is she not allowed in the room?
Huh?
Can the cat and the dog not be together?
Yeah, I got 4 cats.
Jeez.
I
Four
know.
cats.
No, man, you have got animals.
So go on and give us the names of the other 3 cats.
Ava, Angus, and Anna.
All right. So there's so
Is
they're
Angus Scottish?
No.
That went like that. You've got a big dog that you have sprayed like a leopard.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, have you not got him anymore?
Well, yeah, I still have him. He's
Yeah,
just
Oh, you just haven't sprayed him.
no longer a leopard.
Oh, he's back to being a
that's
dog.
taking it and having it dyed at the groomers, yeah.
He went to the groomers today. He had a bath.
Dino says, Crafty, Heavy Mucus sounds like an American goth band.
I'd agree.
Doesn't it?
I'd go and watch that, to be fair.
Yeah, that's down your alley as well.
Yeah, it would be. Have we run out of questions already?
No,
Hour and 30 minutes. Is all
we
right.
haven't run out of questions. I've got one from Chris Hughes. I was just trying to wait to fit it in. It's that, it's got to come in at the right point. Chris Hughes has asked, what is the group's opinion on cheap imported drum filters? Better than nothing or a waste of space?
I saw this on Facebook earlier on. And I responded.
What do you reckon?
Personally, it's the
Come on,
screen
Matt,
that's doing
give
it.
yourself a plug. Where should they get and what should they get after?
No, I'm
they've
not
got
going
fair?
to.
Oh, well, so I did that.
No, in fact, I've got 12 of them down there now. But to me, it's the screen. The screen is doing the job. It's the reliability is the only difference.
As in the quality of the screen.
Well, the screen
the
is
motor
the screen.
and the
So
switch.
they're all the same. So they're
Oh,
all
Matt, you're gone.
Yeah, Robot Bob popped in then for a second. Repeat that again, Matt, because you broke up a little bit.
they're all the same micron. So basically, the screen is doing exactly the same on whatever drum. It's mechanical side of it behind it that is costing the difference. Reliability, spares, where it's being produced.
Maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. But for your water quality, if you're prepared to put on a cheaper brand, as long as the screen is doing the job. Look at Vince. Vince is a prime one.
He is,
Just
mate.
put
You're
on-
right in that saying.
He's a fucking
Yeah,
right.
totally right. Yeah.
He put on the drum and I could play the video that he sent me. He was just like, I can't believe the fucking difference. You know, he doesn't say hold back on his swear words. You know when he's chuffed. He just couldn't believe the difference. Ricky's laughing, so he's probably said exactly the same to Rick. But it's not the drum, the mesh, the micron is what's taking out all the impurities, all the shit, all your fines that are floating around in the pond. The only difference is the mechanicals behind it.
So the
That's the
likelihood
most
is
important bit.
the
If your
cheap.
drum doesn't turn, if it doesn't
Yeah.
do what it's supposed to do, then you're wasting your money, aren't you?
Yeah.
So Chris may be referring to the filter drums as import because they have been imported.
No, they're all. They're, let's be honest, they're all imports. No one matches.
Yeah,
up with
they
manufacturers,
are.
isn't it?
Because even the UK manufacturers that say they've been assembled in the UK or manufactured in the UK, where have all the parts or the majority of the parts come from? No, the
So
electronics.
right then. So if we recap on everything you just said, then that was a complete.
You get
Because
what you
they're
pay
all,
for.
yeah, because they're all imported.
Yeah,
They're all
well, they are all
So,
parts of.
so really, the main thing, if you wanted to buy a cheaper one from overseas, you'd need to make sure that one, you could get replacement parts relatively easy enough, or get yourself a few of the main problematic parts as a backup.
Yeah, or make sure the dealer's holding them in stock.
Yeah.
ready to go out. You know, and like I say, we've got the filter ones here, and they're running now 12 tanks or 12 drums down there. Yes, they take maintenance on them, no different to any other one, but they do the job. And for the ones that I've installed, the fact that somebody can phone me up and go, Matt, I've got a problem, and I can say, do this, do this, do this. That's the problem. Do this, or yeah, I get your replacement motor sent out with the instructions to change it. You know, that's what you want. Some of the drum manufacturers, they actually want them back. And what are you going to do then?
Send the drum back.
Exactly, you can't. But they
But it all
will.
depends if they fall under warranty, Matt. There's a reason why they want them back. So they
Yeah, but how much would it cost you to ship them back?
won't.
It's-
You don't.
They
don't
cover the
have
cost.
shipping. Yeah,
But
cool.
how many, you imagine taking a drum out of anybody's system? What the fuck are they going to do?
But okay, so if you look
Well,
at
you just-
Oase, okay, if you look at Oase, what a lot of
Sponge in
people
the
don't
bucket.
realise is they will actually do garden visits under warranty as well. So you know, if you've got a problem, they will send somebody out to have a look at it. They will hate me saying that, but they do.
Oops. Right then.
Yeah, normally the supplier that sent on it.
We've got a couple more questions, which is again filter related. But before we go on to that, let's have a quick look at Ron's little video that she sent in, and then we can have a little bit of a look at the project that she has been doing. And I don't know if this has got sound on it or not, and I don't know if this is going to stuff us all to one side, but hopefully, fingers crossed, this is going to work. Let's see if I put it right.
Ron, you do Ron.
No, I knew it won't do.
Very sped up.
$18 ply.
Yes. Good remembering.
18 mil.
18 mil on the inside, but it was 12. It was 12 or 15 mil on the exterior. OSB on the outside, and 18 marine ply on the end.
And then,
Mate, you're a fucking nutter.
no,
I don't do this. I don't do this shit at work. Fucking hell. Do you want a job? Mate,
Look, it's gone.
Yeah, he hasn't. If I remove myself,
what does your dad do for a living, Ron?
Boy, a bit of everything.
Does he?
I tell you what, Vince could learn a lot from this, couldn't it? It's definitely straight up. More better.
That's my dad.
I've not seen a level. I've not seen a level used yet.
Yeah, well, I've took a lot out.
That's a good comeback.
Cut
Well done.
parts out.
Mate, I see this big fucking set square as well that we didn't see in this video, which to make sure your corners were square. Someone could have took a leaf out of your book there.
Oh, yeah.
Vince.
I ain't got a square corner on the farm, mate.
I was talking about Vince, mate.
All right.
Look at that. That's dead. Middle of the night, and she's still out there.
I've done that till gone midnight tiling.
There you go. Banging, isn't it?
I am blown away. I don't know. The way my brain works, the way you've done that, it's like it looks amazing, and she's done a good job. It just blows me away. Fuck off.
You were going careful there, weren't you, Wayne?
I've got a question for you, Ron. You in one of your videos, you took out that koi that was showing cart box.
Yeah.
Was you advised to do that?
What, bring him in?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because he was just basically on the floor, weren't moving, nothing,
Oh,
and it
okay.
was really, really raw. When one had an ulcer before I brought him in, and he healed inside.
Okay.
Why did you set out on that project?
What, to build a big pond?
Yeah. That's like you went out. I know it's sped up, but that is like you've gone out for it. You're doing that.
Yeah, my other one had a leak, so it was change the liner or do a new pond.
Just
so you went with the bigger water
Just
volume, give them more space.
mend the leak or build a new pond,
That's it.
Well, if you can, why not?
mate.
And you took 3 days to do that, didn't you?
No, 6.
6
yes.
days, sorry. Yeah.
6 days. That's
I
still
thought that quick.
one hell of an achievement in 6 days. So
Yeah.
my question for you, Ron, is why did you not fill it further up? Is there a reason behind that?
No, I need to put more water in still. I didn't anyway because I didn't know if because it's a new environment with a window, they might jump or.
That's a good call. Yeah. Nice thinking.
I don't know. They're all settled, so yeah. Fill it up.
It's a
6
serious
days.
amount of fixings with the thunderbolts that you got down. How many was it? 18 throughout all the way around it, or something,
Yeah.
or 28 or something like that.
Yeah.
And then you fixed, towed it. It was good to see you doing the toe and healing on the actual timbers and what have you when you were putting them in. So you got fixings in through from underneath and toe and healing them from the sides and faces and countersinking them below.
Yeah.
That's why I asked. That's why I asked if you'd worked in any form of construction, because most people wouldn't have done that to put that extra support in. They'd have just gone with straight through from underneath. Sorry, straight through from underneath.
So many people would comment like, "This isn't going to work. As soon as water goes in, it's going to go." But
But you bolted through on all your corners and everything, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't think people realise how much actually went into it, but it's fine.
What size is it on volume? Do you know how much water you've got?
10,000.
10,000 litres. 2,000.
Is that 10,000 when full or 10,000 now?
Now.
Now. So that's sweet. So you've got a fair old size to it then. Thinking
So
about adding
in
any more.
6 days, you tucked up a box that could take 10 ton of water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Banging.
What about the fixings that you put down into the floor? What they're going into is all that area there a concrete bib? Have you got a concrete base then?
Yeah.
Did you have to lay that prior, or was that already there then from the
No,
last
that's
one?
where the shed was. And then the shed got took down, made into a pond. Then that went.
Is the idea to fill the garden now with as many water features as you can so you don't have to grow your grass anymore?
No, I'm going to do new grass.
Are you doing astroturf instead?
Yeah, I'm going to document that as well. I'm starting this weekend.
She's got 4 dogs and 4 cats or whatever.
Well, I know, but mate, if you'd have seen the clip on the channel where it's showing, she's got patches of, which is more than likely probably from your dogs that are using it, going there on bathroom or whatever, which kills it all off. But you graked it all back, you seeded it all, you soiled over top, and then grow it all, got a new lawn, fenced it all off to stop the dogs from going on there.
Yeah.
And then it all died back again, and now you're going to say sod it and go with plastic.
Yeah.
Are you going to do that yourself?
Yeah.
Have you had a go before?
No.
Let me know if you need any info. I've got a mate that does it.
I've
got a mate that does it for a living. Oh, I don't. No, I don't. I've no idea, but I've got a mate that does it on a professional level. If you need any tips or whatever, or any kind of stuff, if you want to put a joint or glue joints in it, or pegs for pegging it all down.
Is his name Jesus?
No, his name's Matt, but it's not that Matt.
Jesus.
He does it for Olympic pitches, football pitches, and like stadiums and stuff like that for massive, great big pitches.
That sounds cool.
It's exactly, innit? If you've got an option to use someone to get AstroTurf put down, use it. I would. Gaz, can I have AstroTurf put down, please?
You can get AstroTurf put down, mate, but he ain't cheap. And he does a lot of his work down your way as well.
I thought he was your mate. Can I get mates?
He is a mate, but
He's his mate, not
he's
yours.
my mate.
That's what he's about to say.
All right.
That's
Yeah, right.
just one heck of a project, that. And I'm gonna. When I first started watching, I thought, no way, you're gonna have to put some serious support and fixings in there, and then you did. But you did make one mistake. I'm not saying you made a. Well, you did make one mistake.
Go
I knew
on.
we'd pick it up.
No, you did make one mistake, but your followers informed you of it because you put visqueen down on the outside of it, which on the inside, which they told you would make the timber sweat, which would cause rot.
I changed.
And then you replaced it with the breathable membrane, which they would use in construction trade for timber framed houses.
Yeah.
Which you pinned all that down then, and then you've tiled boarding over the top of it again. Oh, I forgot what they call it.
Yeah, so that
Like
there's
composite boarding over top so that you could then bond your
the
tiles
back
to that
of the
surface.
chair.
Yeah. So you've really belts and braces it, really, haven't you? Then this touch on it.
Yeah.
Ron, have you heard that Anthony up there, right? He built a pond, lovely jubbly. All he needs to do is render it. He hadn't even rendered it.
Well,
He's
you
not
know,
finished the outside.
2 years,
Let's
2.5,
get
3
this
years.
Right, let's get it right. Everybody says I need to get it rendered, except me.
well, don't then.
There you go. Cheers, Ron. Fuck you, lot.
Do it how it is.
Do it, mate. I'm happy.
You could tile it, Crafter.
I
Did
do
you not
want it
see that
rendered,
professional
you know,
tiling job? Ron
No,
could
I
come and
know.
You've
tile
been
it for you.
let down by your brother.
Work, mate. Me brother.
Yeah.
Brother's a renderer by trade.
He let you down.
He lets me down all the time. It's my brother. You know, I think we've had how many dates, Kel, now? 8? 8, probably 8+ dates when he's coming, and then it never turns up. So it'll get done when it gets done. I ain't in a rush.
No one worries about a rough finish, do they? As long as the job's
No.
good.
No, mate, it's fucking. It's got water. It's got window. It's got nice fish. What more do you want? Other than a rendered wall, by the seams of it.
Bubble and Finn's put a question in, and I missed it. Sorry, Vicky. Question: is it possible that Doitsu koi are more susceptible to extreme cold weather?
No. But some types of Deutsch koi are more prone to swim bladder problems.
Angus has said, "What live food would you suggest?"
He did actually answer
mostly crickets.
Briny shrimp, Daphnia,
bloodworm.
mysis, bloodworm, any of them. And then he reminded me that I haven't answered his question. Thank you. Question from Susan: does cooked shrimp or cooked mussels introduce bad bacteria to a pond?
No, because they're cooked, man. They kill the point of cooking something is you kill the bacteria. 70 degrees, isn't it? You kill bacteria.
There you go. So as long as you really got them all, job's a good one.
I didn't realise he was a chef, Rick.
Mate, I've been cooking all my life. I love cooking. I'm fucking good at it.
I want next week. I want to see a dish by Rick. Rick's dish.
Seriously?
Rick's dish.
Rich does lovely pheasant goujons, don't you?
Mate.
Balding Reaper says, I'm technically minded, camera pointed, followed. There we go. Sharpie says, already a follower. Brilliant.
What, on my channel? Hang on, what? You've never put my channel on this TV.
All right. 1 second. I shall share you all. Here we
Idiot
go.
fine.
And I will also do another thing for another person as well, because here we are. For all those that aren't following, there is as follows. Crafty Koi.
Perfect Aquatics. TikTok, Anthony Day.
You've only got that tonight.
Send me a little thingy.
Alright,
Send me a little for the technical minded people out there, and we can get
I
yours.
don't know how to do all that jazz, mate.
It's on your thing. It's there. It's on your home screen. I don't know, somewhere. I don't know where. It's
Yeah,
in
can
there.
you put me up? Can you do my ex? What's the other one?
You ain't gone. Hey, you are on X, Instagram, and all the rest of them.
Fucking Twitter.
Oh, come on. Where's the other one?
God, I've
Where are
run
you,
out of
Rick?
beer here.
Where's your channel go?
Who's mine? I haven't got a channel.
Yes, you have.
Yes, you have.
Well, you have.
You have, Rick. You've got New Forest Coy's got its own channel.
It got took down. Explicit beer drinking.
It's there still.
No, it got took down.
You're definitely lying. And this one definitely needs a follow because he's only up at 586 and he should be way, way, way above that. There we go. There is New Forest Koi's one as well. We can't do a Howie Koi one because we don't have one, but what we do have from Howie Koi is, hang about. That's the technically minded one there. A quick one. Share it. Here we go. This is, for those technically minded, follow Anthony Day on TikTok. I'll leave that up for you for a few seconds so you can that with your camera.
I'm going to share more in the shop on that if I can get me 400 subs so I can do lives and stuff. So I'll broadcast live when I'm doing my auctions and stuff.
And then we've got this one as well. For all those that might be interested in following Matt and his... Sorry, I'm just laughing at the picture of Rick that you sent me. Is this
That's the group.
the group for
Harry
WhatsApp?
Coy.
Yeah.
No,
Harry Coyce
Facebook.
or Facebook one. Right, there we go. There is the link to Harry Coy's Facebook group for all those that would like to follow and join him along that one. I'll leave that one up there for you for a couple of minutes as well. Well, I'm lying. I'm going to do it about 30 seconds.
Oh, that's really kind, guys.
I'm back. Is that mine?
No, because you haven't got one. I've just put your channel on. I've just shared that one already. That's
Yeah,
Matt
I haven't got
Harry
those.
Coy's Facebook group.
Turns out I don't need one.
Will you plug this one for me, Gaz? While we're on, let's just do an ad break.
Yeah, an ads break.
I've just had an ad break. Why are you doing it now?
Well, I'm doing this for the sponsorship that's coming in later on. Thank you very much, gentlemen. I didn't say it were for free. I didn't say any of this were for free, did I?
Oh,
And there we go. Koi Auctions are Perfect Aquatics WhatsApp group there as well. Matt, you could send me yours of that too. Tamasaba UK is moving day here as well. For all those that would like to join Lorraine's Tamasaba UK, which is on Facebook, go check that one out too. Stop sharing all them. There we go. That's it. Right. The next one is from Tom Churchill. Hi, boys and ladies.
Hey, Tom.
I'm thinking about recycling my wastewater from my drum back to the wash pump by using a settlement chamber, then a couple of filters homemade to take out the fines. What's the panel's thought on this and recycling water from the pond rather than using a trickle in on my new pond? I'm going to build it with slow growth on the koi. Sorry, on my new pond that I'm going to build. Would this slow the growth of the koi as they release the chemical that inhibits growth? Obviously, I would have to top up with fresh water at some point. Thanks, guys. So first question he's asking is, if he recycled his water and cleaned his drum with it and put it back to the pond after going through a filtration system to clear out the fines and all the rest of it to put it back in, would that inhibit his fish's growth? And is it a good idea to recycle your water in that way? I'm pretty sure that's how Vince is running, isn't it? Isn't he cleaning with his water from his pond?
Yeah, but he's not recycling. No, I
He's not recycling it.
I don't see why you'd want to recycle. Because
So if you were taking the shit out, you want to be flushing it with your pond and just topping back up. But
Can I put my hand up here? Oh, no,
yes, do what you. I'm not saying anything out of this.
So when the drum cleans, right, it's chucking out a lot of water. So if you've got a big system, so we use settlement chambers for the shit coming out the drum to repump the water back into the system, because the amount of water you're losing is crazy. So what you're saying is it will it won't inhibit the growth. Yes, you can do it as long as the water's clean enough. It's not going to block the jets. So Matt has got fresh water coming in to use for the drums, and his tanks are overflowing.
No, I haven't.
Most people, well, you did.
No, I didn't. Never have done. I've always. I have not. I've always used.
Fight.
I've always used the pond water to flush the drums, and then that flushed dirty water is put back on the garden.
But you used no. What I'm saying is, you used to use the water from the fresh water source to feed your pump to clean the drum, so your ponds were always overflowing. So you had a water source that was coming down that you used to use in a header tank to use the drums. What Tom's saying is, can I use the water coming out of the waste of the drum, let it settle, and
clean it through on a different filtration system, homemade?
My issue is, when I use drums in the growing system, we were dumping 25% of the water over a 10-day period. 25% of the water of a 4,000 gallon system.
How many liters?
Insane.
The tank?
How many liters?
Yeah.
There was 4,000 gallons in the system, and we were dumping
So
literally.
20,000 litres roughly.
No, there was 20,000 liters, So when the drums are cleaning, we were dumping water, and they're cleaning every like 4 or 5 minutes. We were feeding heavy, so we're dumping all that water. So I was reusing the water. So what he's saying is, because said to him, if you put the wastewater from the drum into a settlement, you can reuse the water from the settlement back into the system. So you're saving the world whilst getting rid of the shit.
You'll be increasing the amount of times the drum flushes because only about 25% goes back down your weight. The other bit of it, the 75%, goes on the outside of the drum back into your pond.
Yeah, but that's good. You're missing the point. So the water, all the water that goes to waste, is then collected in the settlement, and that water is then pumped back. The top water is pumped back. So you're not. So you still have to top up, but a lot less.
What I would look at is the cost to put in a pump to pump it back to your pond, and
About 75 quid with a float switch.
On what, monthly, yearly?
No, to buy the pump, 75 quid.
No, to run it. It's like,
It switches on for 1 minute a week.
I just don't get, Rick, why.
A lot less than any normal pump would be running, wouldn't it? Short period of time, empty a chamber, fill it back up, tops up your pond back up.
Even with the amount of food that you're chucking into those ponds, how those drums were ever flushing every 4 to 5 minutes, I can't.
They're not 4 to 5 minutes. They were
20-minute cycles.
They were churning a lot of wastewater out and the water we use to clean the drums is the water from the system, not fresh water. So you're using water coming in, and we're using water from the system. So you lose the water. So the gravity system, then you're losing that water. So if you can replenish the best 50%, it's less water to put back.
But there's something not right, Rick, because if your drum was flushing every 30 minutes...
You set it up, Matt, this particular drum.
I didn't. I set it up. It was pretty bad.
You'd only be flushing out 72 litres of water a day.
Absolutely not. We were filling drum. We were filling literally 150 litre containers, probably 3 times a day.
Something was not right then because
we're running. Yeah, but the difference is we're running an industrial amount of food and fish and algae and whatever.
I don't even count because if it's 72 litres per day, even if you went down to every 15 minutes, you're only going to be pumping out 150 litres.
I think we need some boxing gloves.
Nah.
It is. I can guarantee you, and I've done it so many times and proven it.
If you're flushing out 72 litres a minute,
just Rick, quiet.
Right, Ron. While these two keep having the discussion, which I will allow them to do, all these messages are for you. Fair play, bloody good job, top effort. I don't need to keep reading them out, but obviously,
I don't get this much fucking feedback. Jesus.
Well, you might have done if you got your hair cut, Rick, for the occasion.
Sarah says at least Ron's is rendered. It's tiled, actually.
Yeah, so the drum.
You scared her off now. That's it. We're done. There we go. Battery's gone.
On one rotation or one wash,
that's not true.
It's 1.5 to 2 litres of water per flush.
Okay.
How many litres?
1.5 to 2. 2 litres per flush every 15 minutes. How many do you come up with, Crafty?
What, an hour? 8 litres an hour?
How many litres of water are you going to expel?
When? In what period?
24 hours. 1.5 litres. Well, let's call it 2 litres every 15 minutes.
192 litres a day.
Yeah.
Oh, we may have lost Ron. Hopefully she'll join us back in again. Yorkshire County says heron attack. Any suggestions on injured koi damaged scales? Best way to help an injured koi with damaged scales from a heron attack.
Just generally leave it alone, man.
Leave them be unless they start looking like they need anything further. There we go.
Hello, sorry, my phone died.
That old chestnut. We've heard that before.
Yeah.
You went
No,
for a
it
wee.
You got a
did.
spare phone?
You went for a wee, really.
No,
We
my
know.
phone died. But I am going to go now anyway.
Thank you very much for joining us, Ron. It's been a
Thank
pleasure.
you for having me.
Thanks, Lon.
Same
Thank
time
you.
next week. You're part of the panel now. You can't.
Thank you.
That's it.
Right.
You're welcome
Thank
anytime.
I appreciate that. It was nice
Take
to
care.
speak to you all.
Any further issues or whatever you've got, obviously, plenty of people here that you can contact. Anthony from Perfect Aquatics, Matt from Alley Koi, and Rick from New Forest Koi. They're only a phone call away if you need any info. These
Thank
guys
you.
will give you as much information as you can possibly think of.
I appreciate that. It was nice to speak to you all.
Thank you for joining us.
Take care, mate.
Good night.
See
Take
you
care.
later.
Good night.
Yeah, it's
There
a
we
lot
go.
of water, mate. We
was
are
a good-
having to strap back the water back in. There's no way, without running the hose full on, they could cope. So we're putting the water back in. That's where he's coming from. I don't think in a normal system you need to do it. But when we're running a drum on what 8,000 gallons, heavily feeding, it's just it's continuous.
Hang about. I have you guys carry on as you are. I'm going to pop in 2 more other channels because they're chasing the last leg for the 1,000 subscribers, which is Farmer Koi, Anthony Morris,
No
and
way.
Dave from Rocket Boy.
Come on, Dave.
Let me.
Well, look, I've got a bowl head. I should sing
I can bang
Wonderwall.
them in
I
as
reckon I'm
well.
ready for Wonderwall.
If any of you aren't subscribed to these channels, if you could do us a huge favor, pop by, give these guys a lift. Let's see if we can make somebody else's up to the 1,000 mark as well.
They want to do it together across the line. They want to hold hands when they get 1,000 each.
Oh, where's Dave's channel? He's changed it now. I can't remember what his logo looks like. It's got a rocket on it. Have you gone, Dave?
He changed it. It's not Koi Karma. It's like Rocket Boy Koi or something.
Yeah, Rocket Boy Koi.
That sounds
Still
good.
can't get my head around that one myself, though. I can't understand why anybody would have a channel and have a rocket on there when they specialize in koi, or any other.
He's Rocket Boy Koi. No one understands Dave.
There we go. Rocket Boy Koi. It still says. It still actually does still say. Oh, 912. What was what was Tony on
Tony's
as
on
well?
911.
There you go, Dave, and there you go, Tony. They're both in there and posted in there. Swing by, guys. Give them a bit of a support. And while you're on the subject of supporting, don't forget to click the thumbs up and the subscribe here if you want to see more of this craziness that is the GKP Thursday Night Live. And for all those wondering, just so you know, GKP, believe it or not, actually is an abbreviation of that. Gazza's Koi Pond. We're not a clique. We're not a group. We're not a community in that sense. It's me.
Oh, that's harsh.
It's an abbreviation of me. People keep associating with me. Are you in with the GKP? Well, I'm a solo YouTuber.
Solo. You know,
We have a
group.
panel of specialists who all come from their own companies and their own businesses that support us week in, week out.
You got more
Let's
clicks
see
than
what,
the
let's
space
see what Dave's. Oh, 927 for Farmer Koi, and Rocket Boy was on 912. So you're not far off, guys. You're really not far off. Let's hopefully, fingers crossed, that gives you a little bit of a lift as well.
Free pom bomb for the first one.
Free
From
pom
Rick.
poms for all.
Not having one. Nope. Not allowed.
We did have another question, but I think that was your question, Rick, what you're putting about the die. So you've probably already touched on that one. Anybody else got any more topics that they would like to have a natter out?
I think we should touch on a bit more, Crafty. What do you think, mate?
About what, mate?
If you change the colour of your water, would it absorb more heat?
Yes, I think so, mate.
And if you change the surface area of your water, would it absorb more heat?
To a point, I think the question we have to look at is how much it would change it.
Well, I think you can double the surface area of water with waves.
Yeah. Yeah, with disturbance, yeah.
So if you can disturb your water, if the sun's hitting your
That's
pond,
where Matt's head went, same place as mine.
if you can disturb the surface of your water with waves and you can double the amount of heat that it will get, and if you can change the curry water to double the amount of heat it will absorb, that's fucking mental. You're talking about 4 times the amount of thermo radiation going into your pond.
I ain't no scientist, mate. It would definitely make a difference.
We should be the scientists.
But how much of a difference?
I just said 4 times.
Yeah, but where are you basing that on?
My fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, you're saying that you could increase the temperature of your water 4 times just by making it colourful and more disturbed.
Yeah, I'm pretty much getting there. Yeah. Honestly, I think I'm going down a road of. Yeah, I've got a pond.
Ask you a question here, and let me just do a little bit of looking.
Wait, what about one of those water bladders that you can get?
What?
You see that? It's like a big.
Is that an old man thing, Matt?
Yeah.
He's frozen. It's doing my head. He's not moving. It's just like this weird voice.
I had an internet problem then. Yeah, you can get these great big bladders that they use in industrial jobs for water reservoirs almost, and they're black butyl. You had one of those and you pumped out your pond into the bladder and back into your pond, being a black.
Yeah, I've got solar panels, 8x4s. You pump in and out. That doesn't work because it only works for a period of time.
There's a little poll put in there for you guys. Let us know what you think.
I think I can make. And Matt, I'm talking with you here as well, because if we can make your pond black, there'll be no weed growing.
Oh, down there.
Yeah.
I was like,
They're all,
I don't think I'd be.
they're all black liner or black lined or black fiberglass, aren't they? But they all end up going green anyway, don't they?
No. The water. You're missing it. The water.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you've already got a percentage of your pond that is lined out black or lined out.
No, but you're missing it because the day I set up the perfect environment of heat source coming in, it was cooking, it was lovely, but my pond was like dead still, crystal clear, and reflecting everything back out.
But what about the UV going into the water to the fish?
But that's the point. UV is the same as light. It reflects off the surface it hits. So if you can disturb the surface and turn it dark, it's absorbed. Like literally, it is that simple. If you can make it less flat and more dark.
How many beers in are we now?
4. 5, 6, 5.
This is going to get more entertaining then.
But what I'm saying is, I reckon I'm on something here. I reckon I can have proper warm water without no input of cash.
Can he stop putting it all on his brother, guys? He might be able to.
Definite.
I did you a little poll, Crafter.
What was the poll?
Simple, isn't it?
Should
I
I
did,
render my pond or not?
Should you tile it or render it?
Oh, fuck off.
And we've got
I ain't doing either.
83% now says it should be tiled, and 16% says rendered.
I ain't tiling it, man. Fuck that. I can get
You
it
get
rendered
Rob
for
to
free.
tile it,
It's just a waiting game.
Oh yeah, one hell of a waiting game, isn't it?
Fucking long work. Yeah.
Should
And then
we-
you find out it ruins it. But when all you have to do is make the surface crinkled with dark water.
You still on that? We moved on.
Okay,
I'm
Rick,
on
I
that.
don't mean to piss on your bonfire, mate, but the question, does different coloured water retain or heat up better than others? Right?
Not retain, absorb. You're on the wrong question.
Or heat up.
No, absorb. Solar radiation absorbs better through black
Okay.
than white. Go on. I know I'm on it. I reckon I've got this pond cooking.
Okay, so solar radiation is different, right?
Of course
But
it is.
darker coloured water absorbs more solar radiation than lighter coloured water. However, it will not heat up any better.
Of course it will heat up better.
No, I just said it.
What you just said? How can it heat up but not?
Yeah. Google they them.
I'll tell you what, I've got two buttons side by side, right? One's got a solar reflector, the second hat, and now we can have black dye in it.
There's a good point from Frank, but you would lose the colour on the koi.
That's what I'm saying, Rick.
How would you lose? You're talking about a tank that's like 12 inches deep, right? The solar radiation is pinging from everywhere. It's fine. It will be, I don't know.
Worth a try. For
It will
science.
warm up the water faster, but it won't make it hotter.
You can't say that.
I can. It says it
Oh,
there.
you say it warms up quicker, but won't make it hotter.
Yeah, because it's only going to get
It just get to a ceiling temperature, and it'll get no hotter than that. Just because
It
it's
will,
dark.
because I put reflectors and a new cover on.
That's different.
April the 1st, my tanks will be 25 degrees, no heat.
what, on when? On April the 1st.
In the meantime, 15,000 people have gone out and turned their ponds black.
But what I'm saying is, right, we need to experiment more. We can all boo-hoo shit until I go out there and prove it. You go, oh shit, that was so simple. Why didn't we think of that?
But you're the guy that's got more pond volume and space to be able to do all these experiments
Do it
on our
exactly.
behalf for us
That's
to
why
learn
I'm
from.
doing it. I'm doing it for you
You know,
guys. I'm doing
We
it
can
for
all
you.
learn from Gandalf the Grey. And yeah,
I'm doing it. I'm going to do every experiment you've ever seen.
Ever.
ever.
Ever. And some you've never seen or thought of.
Jay's asked us a question, Matt, and this is a perfect one for you. Obviously, you guys might be able to answer as well, but as Matt does a lot of things with pond liners and supplies them, pond liner repairs, patches, or flexi seal tapes.
Patches.
Oh, Crafty's got to tile his pond.
Dropping a lot of flies, isn't they?
Patches, definitely. If it's butyl, make sure you know. You got to find out what your pond liner is made of, because different adhesives will fix to EPDM, butyl, plastics differently. That's what we were just talking about just a minute ago with Ron. And definitely put a patch over it from obviously the inside and weight of water pushing it, holding it down.
My pleasure, mate. There you go, bud. I hope you got the answer there from the specialist. That is Howie Coy. Also,
you want-
liners in case you need a new one, mate.
If you
Do
do
you
want
need
a
a whole
patch,
filling? Matt, do it.
if you do want a patch, give me a shout and we'll try and get you sorted.
There we go. Sweet. Happy days. Tony's asked a question. On an indoor grow-on tank, would a full spectrum UV overhead grow light be of any help for koi health, colour, etc.?
Yes, 100%.
That was a quick, simple answer. Yes, 100%, Tony. Order free. In fact, you've got 25 tanks, so order 25 of them. we've definitely lost Crafty. Crafty's took a shit as well. When he comes back, if he does come back, say, did you just pop for a wee? Next one then.
Oh,
Go on. No, you're all right. Go on.
no, I was just saying you're off to Ryan's tomorrow
Am I going to Ryan? I'm going to Ryan's tomorrow. Yeah, I am. Yeah.
to film the new auction fish.
Well, no, I think Lee and Ryan will be doing that. I'm going to go film the import of the new stock from Japan.
You'd like getting right into the base level of
Everything.
import.
Yeah, see it all, mate. That's what it's about, isn't it? I want to see it. In fact, what I'm going to be doing is trundling 90 odd boxes of fish from one end of a rather large garden to the other end of a rather large garden, and then taking them out of said boxes and dispersing them throughout the tanks and places that they need to go.
Just get a truck, put all 90 on one, and just drive them to the end.
You can't. You're not allowed to drive on the grass. He ain't going down there. His dad will go nuts.
And do rip your bollocks off.
He definitely will. Yeah, definitely will. So yeah, I'm going down there tomorrow to have a day with the lads, which is going to be extremely funny because that's going to entail Marcus from Kazuko Koi, Ryan from Exclusively, and then obviously the man himself, Mr. Lee Hadfield. So it's going to be brilliant. Looking forward to it. Here he is. Good evening, mate. I just mentioned it. Give you a bit.
You said the man himself.
We're playing
That's
out tomorrow. We're playing out. You're going down to pick up some fish and to have, well, I'm dibsing as many as I possibly can. See if we can.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, that should be good.
Yeah, I'm having another shifty through what comes in tomorrow and pick up what I was selected last time.
Sweet.
So it's basically, yeah, it's the big start tomorrow. It's the first shipment for me, really, is Kazuku Koi, what I'm picking up tomorrow. Exciting time.
Are you all ready? You set up and geared up? Ponds are ready? I know
As ready as I can be.
I already know the answer anyway, but yeah.
No, I'm not. But yeah, I am. I've got ponds ready, empty for everything. Yeah.
Blood, sweat, tears, and ribs, I believe.
Yeah, I think I've popped a rib, but yeah, I'll be right.
Overstretching?
Yeah, over the side of a pond, trying to do a patch repair without actually getting in the pond, and yeah.
Regretting that now, yeah?
It went bang, and it hurts now.
Yeah, regretting that move, I guess.
Yeah, the toothache's eased up a bit, so that's at least one thing's got better today. So.
But you're off to Japan as well next week, aren't you?
Yeah.
I'm not.
You're not?
No, no,
you're not going?
Right.
No, I'm not going.
What? Where are you going?
Did you just go for a week?
No, I'm not going.
No, my internet dropped out.
I thought you were off to the old Japan, Marcus. I thought you were like...
No, I'm not going, mate. I've just changed jobs. I've got to go to work. And I'm trying to set it all, still trying to get everything finished here, mate. I ain't got the time at the moment.
You ain't got the fucking time to go. Gaz has, he?
Later this year or next year if I go.
I've got my holidays are booked. They're done. They're in. They're sorted. I'm going. Going to be wicked. And apparently, just so you do know, Jeff and everybody else, what the hell was that?
Sorry, that's my phone. Sorry. Mega loud.
I
only get one message a month, mainly from Matt.
Apparently, when we get there on the 24th, we're going straight on Lash.
Nice.
Or on that evening, we're going on the Lash. One or two. Either way, we're going on Lash.
I lasted most of January, literally. What's the date today? 15th.
Most of January, you only got halfway.
Half of it.
You did you even do half? What day?
No.
Yeah,
Half.
you did. Yeah, bang on. One thing I will say, speedy recovery, Kev. I hope you're on the mend, mate, and I hope everything comes good and you're fit as a fiddle and back at it, mate, in the very near future, bud. It's been for a little bit of a issue today, so speedy recovery, bud. Andrew says, I wonder how many people will be throwing a bottle of Quicking in their ponds tomorrow?
None apart from Ricky.
I don't think I said that, did I?
What did you say?
Susan says, got to go, guys. Time to inject some koi. Stick at it, Susan. I hope everything comes good and all the very best with that little adventure.
I'm putting out there, right? I reckon I put
7
cover
days
on the
ago.
pond, reflectors, and dye in the water. I'm going to get 5 degrees without any form of
Any
fossils.
form of heating at all.
Yeah.
Easy
So-
test, isn't it, Rick? Go get an IBC, fill one up with just water, measure the temperature. Ink
No,
the other
no,
one.
I've done it. I've already got 2 swimming pools done. They're done. They're side by side. Done. I'm already on it.
And the result?
I peed in one, not the other, because I've run out of wee.
Was that to get them up and running? Cycle.
Yeah, well,
They bring it
No,
up
but
by
I
a third
can't
of a
measure
degree.
the temperatures yet. I did pee in one though, to be fair. It's not a bad thing, is it?
Did I have another one there? There was another one from Jigs as well. All right, guys. Having seen this Akari N20 koi food developed by Sakai Fish Farm, I've seen Absolute Koi advertising it.
I've not heard of that one.
Have you seen this Akari N20 koi food developed by Sakai Fish Farm? I've seen Absolute Koi advertising it. Anybody know about that one? The
No.
N20?
No, not heard of that.
No, me neither.
They've got to
Yeah,
develop
no
something
idea.
new, haven't they? When you got the best shit on the planet, you got to go bigger.
Got to find new ranges, isn't you?
And I think that's the end of this week's questions. Oh, what? Oh, there we go. Hang about. Here we go. Let's get some
Right.
technical jargon here because this has been shared by Crafty. It says, oh, can we make that bigger? Yes, we can. I'll make it really big for those that are difficult with the eyesight. Darker colors like black and green absorb heat better than lighter colors like red, blue, yellow, and white. Darker objects absorb light and heat faster, so they warm up faster. For example, water in a dark can or will be warmer than water in a light can after being exposed to the sun. So,
Yeah.
in theory, Rick,
No, that's not right. They're talking about.
Really?
They're not. They're talking about a light can, as in a white can, and a can that is
he's
dark.
talking about making a pond. And I'll just keep doing this for you, Matt. He's talking about doing exactly the same with a body of water and making it black. So therefore, in theory, it should absorb heat more so.
I do get it, and yes, I do think that darker water will make more heat, but I don't think you'll get the levels that you're thinking of.
I fucking will. I'm going to rate. I'm going to take it. I will. I've got solar panels. No, I've got reflective panels.
Yeah, but
Honestly, I was in that tunnel today, right? And I reckon we had 25-degree air temperature, and the water was, I don't know, maybe 10. And I walked across a little bridgey bit, and they were still frozen. And that's the sun's not even got up yet. Like it's, I think I'm talking about massive differences. Seriously, big differences. But Marcus, you should be on this. Like,
Yeah.
You should be on it, Marcus. This is the way to never be able to see your fish
I'm
at least
talking
until you
about-
take them out at the end of the year.
10 to 15 degree differences without no electrical input.
Teresa says, I believe you, Rick.
I love you, Teresa. It's fine, mate. It's fine. I love myself as well. Just sorry. Sometimes you got to support yourself.
Sorry.
I agree.
I got boxers that do that.
Jonathan says, is it H2O or N2O?
Well, I don't know. We're talking about.
Oh, that's the. I think he's on about that food, and he. That's the sake food.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it said. Hang on, let me double check.
Marcus, you're probably the only person that's ever used it.
What?
The H2O food.
No,
N20 or N space 20.
I have
Not
used the
H2O.
multi-season once. I had one bag of multi-season once. Other than that, I've just used balance, colour, and growth.
I love your honesty.
Yeah, is there any need to faff about? I've found something that works, mate. I'm not one to mess about too much once I've found something that works.
Well, they all work. It's just the degree that you're getting from that, mate, which is the difference, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the difference. And
when I've got more ponds,
the added bonus is less waste.
To one food and another to another, then maybe I'll start trialing other stuff. But for now, while I'm trying to get started and I'm trying to do what I'm trying to do, I'm just going to stick with what I know works.
Mark says, Crafty, how much is it going to cost?
What? What going to cost?
Your dinner with the yellow monkey.
I think they're on about that other type of sakai akari, akari food, which is, I forgot what it was now.
20 balance NDF1.
N20.
Oh, is that I think it's H2. Is it H2O Sakai SFF food or something? Sakai Fish Farm.
Now that's a lot of shit, man.
No idea, mate. No, didn't even know what
I saw it on another channel last night, on a live last night. It was mentioned on there as a question, but no one knew anything about it on there either. So.
Are you on more than one live a night?
No, I wasn't on it, mate. God,
the other night is talking about Ricky Stoddart's.
Yes, Ricky's live
which is
last
now
night.
going to become the Wednesday night live, not question. Is it question time?
Question time.
Question time, yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. He's a lot better than us. I'm not going to lie. At least I learned something from Ricky. Ain't you lot a fucking nightmare?
Well, yeah, I mean, we're all trying to learn from you how to dye a pond and whether or not it's going to be any real reason to do it, apart from the fact we won't be able to see his fish anymore.
He hadn't heard of it either. He wasn't aware of it. And his answer was along the lines of mine. He knows what works, so he sticks with it. So.
Every night, all I want is fucking Crafty's dinner and his missus because they look great to me.
Rick, how do you go about treating your big grown ponds if you ever get a parasite? Can't imagine you'd use Lurnex. That would be an expensive treatment.
No, we don't. It's fine. You don't have to deal with it. It's one of them things, isn't it? If you've got a proper pond, the fish are happy in that density of water, you don't have an issue.
See, again, though, Rick, I would have thought more than likely when you take a new pond, flush it all out, wash it all out, or reline them as you do, and then you take a batch of fry that have hatched, been exposed to parasites, and you move them from inside to outside, the likelihood is you're not going to have that many parasites getting in there unless, nature brings them in.
No, and the fact is in the mud ponds where they do exist, the fish have no issue with them because you're putting the fish in a window of their great opportunity, and parasites in their window of least opportunity, aren't they?
Yeah.
So there's not. So that's why when you take the fish out in the autumn, you drain the pond down, lime it, disinfect it, whatever you do. But you're breaking the cycle of, I don't know, putting the fish in the shit place where they're going to contract it.
250 quid for 20 kg. That's what it is.
It's just what it is, isn't it? You
That's not a bad price for sake.
Is the price of Sakai Carry going up this year then?
Yes,
100%.
it's already gone up.
Not
Pricing-
100%, no, like probably 5%, but 100% is going up.
It's gone up. It's going up, or it's gone up 7% from January this year.
Gaz, welcome to the show, mate. Thank you very much for joining us. As said, Saki's gone bonkers, if you ask me. Never worth that money. When you work it out, it is.
That's the problem, isn't it? It is. That's the issue. Massive issue. It is worth the money if you're fishing.
It does things differently to fish, in my opinion, mate. Yeah.
The fact
Nothing else does what it does. I haven't found anything else that does what Saki does.
And if you're doing like what you do, if you're doing like you do, Marcus, where you feed heavy and you're feeding it a lot and you're intensively feeding, it produces far less waste as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Which is far less pollutants in the water.
Yeah. It makes it manageable. The amount I feed sometimes, mate, it wouldn't be manageable with say Coppens or something like that. It would just
Other
be
brands are available.
Would be that, or any of the
I'm just taking piss.
some of the cheaper foods, mate. Any of them, I've tried quite a few of them. Even some of the ones that aren't that far behind Saki on price. The waste is just way too much.
They do
This is the project you need to get into, where you go with food management and pond detox and reusable water.
Don't get me wrong, you can use the other foods, you just can't push as hard to get the absolute results I've got with the good growth and maintaining skin color and everything else. Saki does it.
Right.
You wait till I got my new food out, mate.
Well, by all means,
Dog
mate.
food with sunflower.
A quick.
By all means, mate. I'm willing to try anything if it saves me a quick. But
quick question to Crafty then before. Oh, sorry, mate. I was just going to say, let's say a bag of Saki Colour, a bag of Saki Balance, a bag of Saki Sinking. What is the price difference from, let's say, 250 quid now for Saki Balance? I'm just spitballing, man. I'm not saying exact prices. What do we think it's going to go up bag by?
But it's very noticeable.
Oh, it's going to be a big hike then.
It's 7%. So when you're looking at 300 quid for a bag, right, there's another £21 added on top.
There we go.
There you go.
If you can afford it, fair play. I've got 4 kids to feed before the fish, and I understand it's a great food. Just feel they're outpriced most general koi keepers, and I would agree with that, mate. 100%.
I agree with that, mate.
I would totally agree with that.
However, right, it's if you can afford a bigger down payment up front to spread that feed over the period of a year, rather than buying small and often, right, you're going to struggle to beat what Saki in a 15 or 20 kilogram bag is per kilo against buying small, because
buying smaller bags of food,
often. So if you can lump on and buy a big bag and make it last, if you're not someone that throws in 2 or 3 like every 2 hours on an auto feeder, all right, and you're only going to feed 3 times a day or twice a day or whatever, your fish are still benefiting more from that food than any other food. And actually, the price that you pay per kilo, if you lump up front, is massively reduced than what you would if you was to buy any other brand, Medikoi, Takazumi, Aquasource, all the others. All right, it's massively reduced, and therefore, I would say if you can do that, and give your fish the best that they can. You don't have to break the bank to feed your fish.
No,
if you're doing it for a project or for a purpose like Marcus, through growing fish, etc., and doing what Ricky Stoddart does, then it's gonna cost you a fucking fortune. But
even through the winter, though, Crafty, I feed mine on Saki Balance. I still feed mine Balance So they can still have sake. They're not getting anywhere near the amounts in the summer, and it isn't costing me an arm and a leg anymore.
No,
When you sat down at 18, 12 degrees and you're just ticking them over, like you say, feeding 3-4 times a day, they're not getting the 2 hourly.
but not every.
And it's not that expensive.
But not everybody needs to feed twice a day or like every 2 hours, Mark, is what I'm getting at. Not everyone.
No, this time of year, some people aren't going to be feeding at all.
But even in the summer months, mate, not everybody is that keen to feed so often to get the best body, to get the most growth. Not everyone wants to do it. So,
No,
even if you're not, then sake is a good answer to getting the best food for your fish, and you'll get benefits irrespective.
Just for maintaining what you've got.
Yeah. There's a dog back in there.
The sun hits my koi pond from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. How often should I feed? At what hours for optimal growth?
Depends on the time of year.
It depends if
all of his points don't make any difference, do they?
it depends what temperatures you're getting. It's a lot.
Exactly.
How many fish you've got. What size they are, etc. There's a huge amount of. Just go with a 10-minute.
You want feeding more often than sand time bigger. So,
but the question is, the sun hits. That makes no. The temperature of the water is the only thing that makes any difference to fish growth.
And daylight hours, I suppose, really as well, would be something I'd take into consideration. But
that would make a difference to how they deal with the growth. But
not the sun hits. It's just the daylight hours, really. Is where I curve it.
And how much, I guess, you're feeding them every time anyway.
Yeah.
Because if you're feeding them every 2 hours and you're giving them 5 grams, if you fed them every hour and gave them 2.5.
14 fish at 6 inch, biggest is 19 inches. So what's the temperature of your water, which was the main criteria?
Going from 15 to 45 cm.
Marcus is on it. He's a grown man. 9 times a day.
15 to 40. So, well, yeah.
Need to employ a scientist to break down sake and then recreate a UK version.
Well, they've done it hundreds of times. It's not difficult. That's the issue. It's been done.
Yeah.
Jonathan says diet of turkey twizzlers and salmon and eggs. Salmon and eggs. Ask Jamie Oliver.
That's a good comparison, to be fair.
Yeah.
What we need to ask ourselves more is how the environment we're giving our fish.
Yeah. There's so many factors. It's not just how much food you give it. It's, if you've got a still pot, you've still got to exercise the fish. The fish need to move. In my opinion, you need a current for them to swim against to give them, especially if you're growing fish and you want
those little brown things,
Yes,
those little horrible bastard things, currents. Who wants that? Kayak gonna like currents, mate.
flow,
Or is it?
whatever you want to mean, whatever you want to call
Marcus, tell him he's a cunt. Carry on.
Currents.
You need something for the fish to swim against, in my opinion, to give them better. It grows them better. It grows with a better body.
But if they haven't got the temperature and they haven't got the food and they ain't got the right environment, the whole thing is it's a shitstorm, isn't it?
Yeah, you've got to have everything, mate. If you want it to perform at its best, the fish to perform it. I've had too much rum. If you had to want the fish to perform at its best, you need to give it everything, the best conditions of everything, best food, best heat, best conditions, best flow rates, best everything, don't you?
That's at 16 degrees centigrade.
Contributing factor, really, is there?
16 degrees C.
Yeah.
Well, optimum growth would be 24.
It wouldn't. No, it wouldn't.
Well, 24 to 30, whatever then. That's what you say normally, don't you?
Yeah.
Honestly, if I was growing, right, proper young toto, I'd say 30, 31, 32. And the knee side probably 27, 26, 27. Sand side 23. Yon side 20.
But then the problem you got there, Rick, is if people was to employ them temperatures into their ponds, it's about getting enough food into the water.
I know. I'm not saying they should do it. I'd never do it, mate. I'm just
that's
saying.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
People bandy about figures, but it's not correct, is it?
I get what you're saying.
Yeah. I get what you're
Jonathan says in dog world, we say either pay for the food or pay for the vets.
Yeah, it's a fair comment.
In the koi world, we say if you can afford it, feed it.
Yeah.
I would say that Jonathan there would be feeding
yeah,
he'll be feeding his dogs if he's into the showing and all that lot. He'll be feeding his dogs a raw diet,
Frozen meat.
which is banging, mate, if you are, because I would have done I did do with my stuffers.
Yeah, but again, that's not cheap.
No, it's not, but it's far better.
No, he's fed on. He's raw fed, but yeah, it's not bloody cheap to do.
No, it's not.
So you feed your dog raw food, Gaz, but you won't feed
Not this, not this one. My staffers I did, yeah.
All right. This one's not worth it.
No, he's on a hyperallergenic one, mate. But yeah, he's gonna have to it too. That does come into the category as well. Working trial dogs, Gaz. There you go.
Mine are fucking dickheads, mate.
Trail dogs. should I say.
How's
Not-
it
Matt,
Your
I'm going to
dogs-
slow my,
your
I'm going
dogs
to
eat
slow my
anything.
dogs down next week, right, on the shoot. So they're really slow and don't peg nothing. Look at them.
Fast asleep. Chilled out, relaxing.
That's what slow dogs look like.
Did a tail heal that?
Dogs look like.
Don't move, do they?
Did the
That's how a
tail
dog
heal?
should be. Sit down, stay, and it should do exactly
Oh,
that.
he's no diff- This one's no different. Oh,
That one in there is special. He'll be running around the living room chucking a ball at me every 30 seconds. Never sits down. And when it does, it's only for 10,
He's having
15
a lie
minutes.
down
It
there.
starts again.
Done.
He's having a lie down today.
Any more, ladies and gents? Have we got any more questions, topics, or discussions you'd like us to?
Can someone come on with the colour water thing? Right? Because I don't know this colour water thing. I've just made this one up. Come on.
Well, I do know some that used to dye their water blue.
Yeah, you know, we can.
That's
You can
the algae.
the algae and shit.
Not to heat though, is it? No, that's not. Yeah,
Rick,
that's
this is a bit. So you dye the pond blue to stop the UV penetrating the water.
Yeah, but you can buy black. Black's better than blue.
Have you seen Matt? He's proper doing real well tonight. His ventriloquist act. I've got to say, hands
It's
off,
just
mate,
thrown
because
in,
you have
right?
got that to a T this week. Absolutely banging. It's the best. It's the
sure
best.
if it was the deer on the wall talking or him, like.
She just throws his voice to the deer. It's min. Test it with malachite green.
But I still think black's going to be the answer, isn't it?
Well, I still say that you've got more volumes of water to test this theory for us and come back with your findings.
I know, but I've just thought of it tonight. So
Go out and buy some dye.
there's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of clever people out there, isn't there? That know stuff.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah. There's also the other side of the scale.
Yeah, I'm just thinking if I can get all those things in place for free.
But who's it going to help, Rick?
Me?
Yeah, only you.
No, not only me, Matt. When you want to raise your tanks to 25 degrees and your heat pump's not coping, oh, Rick, what are you going to do? Little reflector, a little bit of black dye, little bit of this, little bit of that. That's
Matt,
how we all get knowledge.
fresh,
Knowledge is amazing. Once you got it, it's a weapon.
When are you going to get it?
I don't know, mate. I've been trying for years. And if I did get it, I would never use it as a weapon. I'd use it as like a joy toy.
Joy toy. The swan.
That is a good joy toy.
Is anyone still watching this?
No, don't mate. Don't. But when I get stopped on the plane with him, is that your samurai sword? No, it's a joy toy.
Joy toy.
Still 110 people watching, Rex. They must be enjoying you.
Oh.
Mate.
I
At
want
least
to
I'm
go back.
honest with it.
I want to go back
It'll
on to
be
Tom's
fine.
question.
Tom's question?
Yeah,
What Tom question?
you recirculating the dirty water.
Yeah, oh, mate, yeah. 100%.
But I can't see how you were using that amount of water.
Yeah, we were using shitloads.
But Crafty, you worked it out, didn't you?
What's that?
The amount of water that you're using a month.
Oh, fuck me, mate.
Month, we use it fucking a day, man. Those things are cleaning literally
I must
daily.
admit, my drum is only a
Hourly.
little Draco drum on a Nexus, but that cleans every 4 minutes when I was feeding heavy.
Every 4 minutes. So our drums are
Every
cleaning
4
literally.
minutes, that drum was
Yeah,
cleaning.
ours are probably cleaning every 10 minutes. So
Yeah.
6 cleans a minute. 6 cleans. Fucking hell, 6 cleans a minute.
How do you
Hour.
get 6 litres a minute?
6 cleans. I don't know how much
Hour.
it's using. 6 cleans a minute. A minute? No, it's not.
Minute?
Hour.
No.
An hour.
No,
Every 10 minutes.
Way more than that. Where they were cleaning prop. So,
Knowledge is a
Right.
weapon, Rick.
You can't get anywhere near your figures that you're saying you're losing.
so we're putting 20 ton of
That's why people are still watching.
heavily fish fed water through a drum. It was cleaning, yeah, probably 5 or 6 minutes. Yeah, it was obscene because the levels, yeah, it didn't work. It just didn't work, mate.
The only way that would be happening, Rick, is if you weren't topping up your pond.
Of course, we weren't topping up.
Well, there's your answer, because your pond level's coming down, and every time it's coming down, it's increasing the frequency of your cleans.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
your pond,
and
so if your
so-
pond level was maintained at the top,
Yeah.
you are still only going to be using 150 litres a day from your pond.
no. So
Yeah.
we had a hose in going at 350 litres. Yeah, we were cleaning, didn't work. Literally, didn't work.
You've got to look at your flow rates, man.
I know.
Which means Rick will forget by tomorrow.
We did look at our flow rates, mate, and it was like, we can't fucking flow rate that for that shit. Take it out.
Yeah, oh, yeah, I'll get it, mate. I'm not a big lover of drums, personally.
No, we were losing. It was a lot of water.
Jonathan says,
that was
in the
massive.
reflectors at the heat pump, Rick.
We're talking about 300. We were talking about 300 Nisa grand in, I don't know, 40 tons of water, chunking the water through. It was mental. It was never going to work.
It doesn't make any difference how many fish you got in the pond. It's the time between the flushes.
Continue.
No, you didn't say that just a minute ago. You were saying between 5 and 15 minutes.
No, I didn't. Matt, I had no idea what I was saying.
What's the bad press bit about? Did I miss that?
Well, I think it was because we was talking about
Backy showers.
backy showers, like reducing costs, and then the treatment aspects. I don't think it's bad press. I think it's just factual.
No,
I,
Matt, it was bad press.
Did everybody have any problems throughout the winter period with any freezing pipes, damage or out like that? I did.
Gaz, we're not even live anymore. It's fine.
We definitely are.
Are we? Oh,
Yeah, we
shit.
definitely are. Yeah, definitely still live.
Matt, you're completely right. I understand what you're saying, and there was no way we would use that much water. But unfortunately, we must have a leak in the system. And that is where it came
To Tom's question, then I still don't see the benefit of you recycling dirty water because you're putting that back.
Oh, we're back here.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
that's
it's
right. Got it now.
Benefit.
Got it
First
now.
benefit is if he's on a meter, it's going to be costing him less money. If he can recycle that water and reuse it, putting good water back in, if you can put it back in that's clean, is then not going back in with heavy metals. It's not going back in with chlorine, chloramines. That in itself, there's 4 good reasons for it there.
That's good reasons. Yeah. I didn't even get that far.
But so are you advocating then that we don't do water changes?
Yes. I would.
Well, Rick's always said it's better to maintain the good water that you've got than to
Retain.
constantly replace it with worse water if your water that you're being supplied with is of a poorer quality. But no, I'm not saying because you have to do some at some point. You'd have to put some in,
Nah.
wouldn't you? You've got to put some in.
You've got better water than most of us, isn't it? Come on,
No,
chalk
I
down to the
I have got
doorstep.
that. I have got that advantage. It is steady.
You've got nice water, haven't you?
If you got shit water from your supply, then you know it's another way of being able to.
I'd
Maintain.
rather recycle a turd than have to
Water
have a new
change.
turd. I don't know where that was going.
I get what you're saying. If you've got good water, then you want to keep that water in there. But if you're going to do water changes because your water is good, then why wouldn't you do it as part of your drum cleaning process and not put that water back into the pond?
I don't know. You answered your own question, I think.
There's no reason
I think at this point,
Good
again-
water. If you've got good water, you've got good water, haven't you? If you've got
If
great
you-
water and you're recycling it for a drum, take the shit out and then put the good water back. Don't
Yeah.
just put shit water in because you've got better water. I don't know. I spend my life making our water good. Why would I waste it by getting rid of it and putting shit water in?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, on the recycling, why not?
I don't know.
Why not? Yeah, you should.
We all live in different places, don't we? So you're getting Matt's getting great water out the hole, lovely jubbly water. Someone else is getting Thames
My
water
pickle
that's
tower did as
fucking
well.
nasty, shitty water that's got all sorts wrong with it. Someone else over there is getting good water. It's all different, and I don't know.
But what do they do with their water changes then? Do they not do anything at all?
I
Who?
see.
People that got
I see
shit
this-
water.
I see this conversation continuing in the after hours as well, don't you guys?
Oh, it will be.
I definitely see this going in it.
I can picture me
We've got
walking.
an 18-hour flight next week,
Yes.
and I'm going to have a conversation.
13 and a half hours.
13? Where you going?
Yeah.
Thailand?
It's 13
Yes,
and a half
that's-
hours.
Yeah, ours is 14 hours, right?
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I'm not going with you. Can't deal with that.
Right.
Have we got
I've
seats
changed-
next to each other so we can be like?
No.
all in
No,
a line.
you're at the back of the plane. Matt's up front with the highballers.
I'm flying.
Yes. You've got yourself one of those little kick back and relax beds, haven't you?
No,
Full
I'm
layout.
I thought it'd be unfair, so I'm slumming it with Rick.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I love him so much. He's
Yeah.
gonna slum with me.
It's what a mate's for, eh?
Exactly.
Right then, ladies and gents, I am now going to turn around and say we're at the 3-hour mark and I have to be up in the morning. So I'm going to turn around and say thank you very much for everybody that's joined us this evening, i.e. you, the guests that have joined us, and obviously Anthony from Perfect Aquatics, Matt from Howie Koi, Marcus from Kaizuko Koi, and Rick from New Forest Koi, and of course, Ron, who came on and joined us as a guest. Usual thing, guys, if you've been enjoying this madness that is becoming crazier by the week, do us a huge favor. Like, share, subscribe, tell a friend. And until next time, keep smiling, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one. I should do myself a little outtake video, shouldn't I? So that I could
Go on, Crafty.
You're still live.
Yeah, no, I'll wait for you guys to do the usual 3, 2.
I'm not doing
1.
anything, mate.
Cricket
Don't
bats.
Cricket bat.
Yes, there we go. Good night, all.